Happy Sunday, everybody. It's me, Burrito. We are back with Star Wars Galaxies doing 1 to 90 stuff. Of course, I'm already at level 90. Today, we're going to be tackling the Bespin storyline that was added by the Legends staff when they added Bespin to the game. We're going to be doing the Rebel side of it since I'm already a Rebel line character. And for this, I would say that you want to be a level 90 character, not only with your gear, but also already at your 5-piece set of jewelry from doing heroics. So specifically for my officer, I already have General's Aspect that I've been wearing. But if you're Jedi, you might want your Guardian set, your Duelist set, your Dark Fury. If you're playing any other professions, same goes there. Even if you just have a heroism set, the heroism set is actually very good. So that's still much better than nothing, or even better than a lot of the class-specific alternative like treasure jewelry you can get. Before we're able to do Bespin, though, we're going to have to do a little prerequisite to get into Bespin. So for the plot of Bespin, it takes place immediately after the Battle of Hoth, when the Rebel Alliance is escaping Hoth and Imperials are flushing them out. So you have to have gone into the Hoth instance already on your character in order to do the Bespin storyline. So for either, if you're doing this Rebel side or Imperial side, you are going to have done Hoth before. Now, you don't have to complete Hoth. Specifically, what you need is you need 2 badges from Hoth. If we go to my collections and look under badges, you'll see that I don't have any Hoth badges here. I have not gone into Hoth yet. Now, if you already completed Hoth or visited, well, if you already visited the Hoth instance and fully completed it, you likely won't need to do this. However, I know not everybody who plays this game who wants to do the quest-driven content wants to necessarily do group content like Hoth. Hoth is a heroic. So I'm gonna show you a method of getting those qualifications without having to actually do the instance. So I'm gonna flag up to Gabatin here. And if we go to the Cold Weather Trooper, you'll see that they say, I'm reporting for duty, or I want to see what supplies you have, which is spending Hoth tokens. So you'll see that that's the only options I get for now. But what we need to do before I can get into Hoth is that we need at least 4 characters in our group. You'll see right now I have 3. I have Vaughn, my officer here, Roko, my medic, who we met before when doing Mustafar, and Arito, who's currently my only crafter. We're going to need a 4th. Now, every Legends account is allowed 3 characters to be logged on simultaneously, which is what I've done here. But if you don't have a friend around at the time to help you, luckily Legends is full of people who are AFK, whether they be medics buffing in the med center, officers dropping stims, etc. So what I'm going to do off screen here is I'm going to have my medic, who's currently the leader of the group, invite another character to the group here. Let's see if I can find somebody who isn't already grouped. The first officer I've tried is currently grouped. Let's see here. Some of the medics run group join macros, so you can use that. They don't all do, however, so I recommend trying this with officers. Oh, but that one worked. So we're just gonna now talk to him. It says, I'm reporting for duty. I cannot reveal too much about what's going on in Hoth, but we can go in now. If you try to do this without the 4th, it won't go in. Don't worry. So once you're inside Hoth, you need to do 2 things. You need to get 2 badges. You can get badges in Hoth by visiting certain locations. So if we come in here, or maybe it's just 1 badge. You need a badge. So we come into the instance, go over this way. You'll see, boom, there it is. General Exploration, badges, Hoth. And we've unlocked that. And then if we come out here, we'll also get Location, Echo Base. So if you're a Rebel, just do what I did there. If you're a Rebel, do what I did there. Just run towards the hangar, towards the snow speeders like you would at the beginning instance, and you'll get the Visit Planet Hoth badge, and you'll get the Visit Echo Base on Hoth. If you're Imperial, you should still get the Visit Planet Hoth badge, but you'll need to travel over to the Hoth base and like hangar entrance, which you can just hop on a speeder and drive over here, I'm pretty sure. It's been a long time since I've done Imperial Hoth, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But once you do that, you can do the /eject option. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to dissolve the group. We don't need the group any longer. Thank you very much. And now that we are back in Aurelia, what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the Adventurers Guild Hall. And we're going to do 2 things. I guess just 1 thing for now. I was going to say we should flag down, but Legends changed it so that now it sets you on leave immediately. But if we go into the Adventurers Guild Hall, go back to the Weather Trooper we spoke to enter Hoth, you'll see I now have this third option, which was I was wondering how the rebellion is doing in the aftermath of the Battle of Hoth. So you'll see that all I had to do is go in and get the 2 badges. Don't even need to let the instance run out, finish it, do anything in there, and we're ready to go. So this is the same for either side of the faction. Again, by the way, if you're Imperial, you just go back to your Imperial contact, talk to them, you'll be fine. Now that we're ready to go to Bespin, let's do the I was wondering how the rebellion is doing in the aftermath of Battle Hoth. And of course, if you're Imperial, this would say something about Imperial. One thing I want to note is that the Imperial quest line is different from the Rebels. It has a different story. You'll be going to different locations and doing different objectives. So this, again, is showcasing the Rebel side. Don't expect the exacts to be doing the exact same things for both sides. A lot of the locations we'll visit are similar, but the plot line and the exact steps beats are a little bit different. So after asking about the aftermath of the Battle of Hoth, the Rebel trooper says, "Not well. We lost countless men and women. Most of our supplies have been lost. Rebel command has been scattered across the galaxy. They might even all be dead. We lost so many transports, we can't even be sure if any members of Rebel command got away. The situation seems hopeless," is what I say. "Never lose hope, soldier. The rebellion has survived a fair few defeats like this. It will survive and recover, and we will prevail." I'm glad to hear that. So we're going to be seeing the return of this brackets, where it's going to be saying actions. I will read it out as they are significant, but this is a writing style that you might remember from Kashyyyk. Well, obviously, whoever wrote this likely didn't write the Kashyyyk stuff. We have this style of storytelling again, but in the brackets it says the soldier's comlink chimes. He answers it and listens to the incoming communication. His eyes widen. The soldier then says, "I'm receiving a transmission from one of our corvettes. It's damaged and has taken refuge in the Hoth system's asteroid belt, but Imperial ships have found them." "Oh no, what do we do?" "Here, take the comlink. Use it to talk to the corvette's commander and get him to send you his ship's coordinates. Once that's done, head over to the corvette and render whatever assistance they require." You got it. And they say, "May the force be with you." So we are given a Rebel comlink. So you'll notice that we haven't received any actual quests yet related to Bespin. The comlink, similar to Jabba's comlink, will activate the quest for us. So Jabba's comlink activates, obviously, the Quarantine Zone quest line. The Rebel comlink we'll receive will activate this one. However, you try to use it inside Aurelia. It says you can't do that while in a city. You will need to exit the city to activate this, as we're going to be met by a Rebel contact. The most convenient location to visit to do this is Nim's Stronghold on Lock, as many of you already know, having seen me done it. As soon as you land at the starport, you can just go north like 60 meters and be outside the city limits. So we're just going to head there. All right, now that we are outside Nim's Stronghold and outside any city, I'm going to open my inventory again, and we're going to access that Rebel comlink, which says, "This object starts a quest, transports you to another location. Would you like to accept this?" Accept. So then we get the quest, Bespin Prologue. You got the order to investigate what happened after the Battle of Hoth, which this does give you quest experience, some Rebel faction standing, and credits. The credit payout for this first quest is fairly low, with 15,000 credits, but the Bespin quest line, by the end of it, you'll have earned a few million credits from doing the quests. For reference, if anyone's curious, right now on my officer, I have 5.9 million in the bank and 2.2 million in my pocket. So we have a bit over 8 million credits, which, if you've been watching this series so far, those are the credits I've earned just from questing, selling junk loot, etc. So not bad. But we're going to accept this quest, and you'll see that we're contacted over the comlink, which says by this Zabrak, stating, "Repeat, do you read? This is Avalo Kamar of the Rebel Alliance, aboard Transport 11, outward bound from the Hoth system. Our hyperdrive is malfunctioning and Imperial ships are closing in. Please rendezvous with our transport as soon as possible. We need your assistance badly." This Rebel transport officer is going to take us to the ship. So if you ever see these officers standing out here, this is where they come from. It's people starting the Bespin quest line. Speaking to this officer, though, they say, "I have orders to fly you to Transport 11, soldier. Are you ready to go?" Which you can say yes or no. We're going to say yes, as we are fully buffed up. I'll run my officer buffs and my power-ups later, but we're good to go. He says, "Very well, come aboard." And now we're going to wait as the game will load us up into somewhere near Bespin. So now we can see that we are on the Corellian Corvette, and here to greet us is a Rebel deck officer who says, "You're Vun, that's me. Thank the Force you're here. We're pretty much dead in the water and the Imperials are closing in on us. Your Captain Kamar told me as much. Where is he? I should speak with him." Kamar isn't our captain. He's just a sergeant. But when the captain died, he was the ranking officer and took command. Right. Well, where is he? I should speak with him. On the bridge, up that way. Thanks. May the force be with you. This officer is really going for that bureaucracy promotion with all the semantics. Very good of him. Sup, Sex Mug? Hope you're doing well. Coming up here, we find the sergeant waiting for us, who says, "Thank the force you're here. I'm Kamar, Sergeant Avalo Kamar. I'll keep things brief. We are in deep trouble. A collision with a small asteroid killed the captain, took our weapons offline, and has shut down the hyperdrive. There's got to be something I can do to help." There is. I've got repair crews working on both the weapons and the hyperdrive, but they're very inexperienced. With your help, we might be able to get one of the systems online before the Imperials get here. Which system should I repair? Either will do. The choice is up to you. Functional weapons would allow us to fend off the incoming TIE fighters, but a working hyperdrive will allow us to escape. It's your choice. Will you fix the weapons or the hyperdrive? So we have two options of bringing the weapons online or the hyperdrive. I feel like it's probably more in character for the rebels to try and flee, minimize losses and damage. So let's fix the hyperdrive. Right, get to the engine room. I'll tell the engineers working there that you're coming to help. I'll go there immediately. Good luck. We've completed this quest, and we've received those aforementioned items, as well as the industrial sector map of Bespin's industrial sector. So you'll see it's pretty well detailed and a very cool sign to decorate your home. It is no trade, though, so keep that in mind. A cool thing about it, though, is that this is the actual overhead map for the industrial sector, which we will be going towards later. The fun thing here is that if you radial this item and select mining sector map, it flips the object's appearance. And now you'll see that it says mining sector and shows the layout for the mining sector map. I think that's a really cool addition to the game and decoration. I do wish it was tradable, though, as some of the areas that I decorate the most are structures that maybe the no trade item wouldn't be best used on. Granted, you get this as a crafter and entertainer doing other quests, I believe. As I know, my crafter has one of these, so you can definitely get it on other characters for whoever owns the structure that you are decorating. But let's go back. We have to find the engine room, which is right over here, very close to the bridge. And inside we see some Bothans and a Rhodian locked in engineer jail. Waiting for this timer to count down, which says, the engineer yells at you, grab a hyperspanner and a micro-aligner. Use the hyperspanner to pry that valve open. Then use the micro-aligner to calibrate the flow of the coaxium quickly. Okay, so first we have to go over here to fix the valve. Let's walk up, click on it. We get a message saying, you jam the hyperspanner into the flow valve and twist with all your might. The valve eventually yields to your strength and pops open, now to calibrate the coaxium flow, which we will need to travel over to this terminal. Yeah, the hyper fuel terminal, which is a little offset from the waypoint, but that's okay. Never mind. Maybe is it this terminal? Yeah, it's that one. A damn quest location. Message, you calibrate the flow of the coaxium perfectly. The nearby hyperdrive unit pops and hums to life. You've done it. Head back to the cockpit and speak with Sergeant Kamar. If you go into the other room, this is where you would go to fix weapons. As you can see here, there are more Bothans and Rhodians in Rebel Engineering Jail. I did this option when I was playing with Griffin Striker. They both get you to Bespin. But we go up with Kamar. They'll say, you did it. The hyperdrive is back up and running, and not a moment to see. Here come those ties. Before we get out of here, let's look at some of the decoration in here, as it is cool. You see they've retextured this old databank terminal to look a little bit more gritty and used. I like it. I also like some of these signs up here, which actually, this does appear to be the layout of the Corellian Corvette, based on my experience doing this instance, which there is an instance Corellian Corvette, which we'll do sometime. Got a couple characters in here. And of course, we have the retextured, like, seat and panel layout here. But let's speak to the sergeant and say, pilot, get us out of here. And then in the brackets, we have a scene play out. It says, the pilot throws down the hyperdrive lever. You hear the distinctive whine of the hyperdrive charging up. Moments later, the deck shudders beneath you as the ship lurches forward into hyperspace and safety. And you saw the little animation play out the bridge window here and says, we did it. Kamara says, it's all thanks to you. You have my most sincerest gratitude. Do you have any questions? I'm sure the information here has the answers if you do. Yes. What do you want to know? So here we can say, can you tell me about Bespin? What do you know about Cloud City, as in Bespin the planet versus Cloud City the location? What's the plan once we arrive? Once we get to Bespin, am I able to leave? So let's just go from the top. What can you tell me about Bespin? The planet is a capital G gas, capital G giant, the atmosphere of which consists of mostly poisonous gas. However, there is a layer of approximately 30 kilometers in which an oxygen's atmosphere, which is suitable for most humanoid life. The zone is appropriately named the Life Zone. So we're going to continue listening. The planet's native fauna mostly consists of avian creatures such as the tabanuk, the velker, and the beldon, though it's highly unlikely you'll encounter any of these life forms aboard Cloud City, the planet's main population center. They tend to stay in the uninhabitable regions of the planet among the highest concentrations of tabana gas, capital T, capital G, which the beldons produce. I'm going to keep listening. Apart from Cloud City and the various tabana mining and refinery platforms scattered throughout the atmosphere, the only real locations of import are the city of Ugnorgrad, home to a colony of Ugnaughts, and Tabanoopolis. This reminds me of Casinopolis from Sonic, an abandoned mining platform that failed to rival Cloud City as its builders intended. That's all the information the database contain on the planet itself, but we should learn more when we get there. Good to know. Any more questions? Yeah, let's ask about Cloud City. First conceived over a millennium ago, I just want to say, Sergeant Kamar, if the Rebel Alliance doesn't work out for you, maybe you should become some sort of orator, maybe a history teacher. But either way, first conceived over a millennia ago, Cloud City was finally built some 400 years ago by Excelsis Fig, an eccentric entrepreneur and wealthy business mogul. Of the platform's nearly 400 levels, roughly 270 of the lower are dedicated to the infrastructure required to keep the city in orbit and mine and refine the tabana gas from the atmosphere. The upper levels of the platform are dedicated to the city's residential and administrative sectors. They also hold the luxurious casinos, hotels, retreats, and skyscrapers that Cloud City is famed for. Approximately 5 million people reside on the platform. The population consists mostly of humans and Ugnaughts, a small race of pig-like humanoids renowned for their industry abilities and hard-working attitude. The platform is policed by the Bespin Wing Guard. Its officers serve a variety of roles, from police forces to customs officials, air traffic controllers, and even meteorologists. Despite consisting mostly of civilian officers, they are nevertheless skilled and will doubtless prove a considerable obstacle in our mission. I wonder what that mission is. Maybe we'll find out. The entire operation is run by a man named Lando Calrissian, who serves as Baron Administrator. We don't know much about Calrissian except that he's an entrepreneur and gambler. In fact, Calrissian won his position in a game of sabacc from Cloud City's previous administrator, Dominic Raynor, a wealthy businessman. So I say, right, maybe we'll need to find an ally in Calrissian. He might be able to help us, which the sergeant says possible, but unlikely. Apparently, he's a stickler for neutrality, tries to stay out of conflicts wherever possible. I doubt he'll stick his neck out by helping the Alliance. And then I repeat, I guess we'll find out. Any more questions? Yep. What's the plan once we arrive? So let's see if what this mission is and how the Bespin Wingguard might interrupt us. The plan is simple. We lay low and do whatever we have to survive. The Alliance lost a lot of good men and women at Hoth, along with a large chunk of our equipment. The Empire nearly wiped us out entirely. We're in no position to strike back yet. I'm sure that's not supposed to be an Empire Strike Back reference, but I just can't help it. I can't help thinking that. For now, we focus on recovering. And once we've recovered, that won't be for a while. But once we have, we'll either find a way to rejoin the Alliance fleet or find a way to take the fight back to the Empire. A solid plan, I approve. Any more questions? Yes. Once we get to Bespin, am I able to leave? We'll really need your help once we arrive. Most of our passengers are wounded and dying soldiers injured in the fighting, and a lot of the equipment we're carrying was damaged or broken during the race to pack it up and load it onto the transports. If you leave us, we may not stand a chance. Wow, they're really putting some pressure on me. I understand, and I'll help however I can, but I have to be able to leave Bespin if need arises. Then yes, you'll be able to leave. There's an X-Wing starfighter in one of the ship's cargo bays. With a few repairs, it'll be up and running and you'll be able to come and go from Bespin as you please. But please, if you do leave, come back as soon as possible. We'll really need your help. I will, you have my word. Any more questions? No, I think I'm good. Alrighty then, I'll program the Navicomputer with Bespin's coordinates and we'll be on our way. Sounds like a plan. May the force be with us. So once you accept this portion of the quest, you'll receive another stipend of credits of 15,000, and then you'll be transported to the industrial sector of Bespin. Bespin has a few instance zones that have multiple sectors, similar to the Majil Cravens or Riot Trail. In this case, we'll be going straight into the industrial sector, which is one of those instance zones. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. Let's pick 7. It's a lucky number, right? Now that we've landed, we'll see that we're in this underground hangar. Obviously, this isn't a Corvette parked here, but that's okay. It's this shuttle. Let's head over to the sergeant and see what they have to say to us now that we've landed on Bespin. The sergeant says, well, we made it, and I think we snuck in here undetected. Where exactly is here? The sergeant says we've touched down in an old abandoned industrial sector on Cloud City. Hopefully its abandoned nature will ensure that nobody discovers us. Cloud City may be neutral, but if rumors of a rebel presence reach the Empire, they'll come down hard on the city to find us. I respond with, let's try and avoid that if possible. The sergeant says, yeah, let's. I guess this hangar will serve as our base of operations, capital B, capital O. It's certainly big enough to house all of our people and equipment. So I ask, so what's the plan? Well, let's treat this like a run-of-the-mill mission. What's the first thing we do upon establishing a base of operations? Recon. We survey and secure the area, I say. The sergeant says, bingo. So you can head out and recon the area. I'm afraid I don't have anyone else to send. Most of the men are wounded, and those that aren't are either tending to the injured or unloading equipment. I can do that. You're a lifesaver. Hop to and report back once you've reconned the sector, and stay safe. So over here we have a rebel transport officer who is vibing, it seems like. Maybe doing some work near the terminal, though. If we speak to them. Do you want to return to Transport 11? Oh, so they actually let you return to the instant ship if you like. That's cool. Not too much below us that we need to look at right now. And then we have Marina, this Wookiee, who says, I'm sorry, can't talk right now. I need to focus on setting up my equipment. So, since that's all going on, let's go up and explore the industrial sector by using this elevator. Bespin's pretty big. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, especially inside the industrial zone. As here I am, and if we zoom out, this is the entire industrial sector, almost a little bit cut off towards the top. So definitely a lot of running around. If you don't have the speed buff in your entertainer buff, definitely be drinking Akragam from point A to point B. Here's an Ugnaught Treasure Keeper. They have a pretty good amount of health with 117,000, and they actually hurt. They actually have some pretty sweaty debuffs. They're a tough fight to solo. You're welcome to try. But we're going to be spending a lot of time in Bespin, and I don't need to spend it fighting an Undock that I don't need to fight right now. So let's keep moving on. We need to go check out the security center up here to the north. Coming in here, though, we do see if we have object item names on. Over here, we see some crate of Death Trooper armor pieces and Patrol Trooper armor pieces. Bespin is full of new collections, especially exploration collections like this, where you go up, collect the item that you're all familiar with. Finishing these collections often rewards you with a piece of furniture that looks like the item you're collecting on. So in this case, if we get all 10 of these Death Trooper pieces, we get a little box filled with the Death Trooper armor. So let's, since we're down here, might as well just collect the Patrol Trooper armor as well. And let's head up to the security center. So it says, as we discover the security center, we give the update that says defeat the Minox, which if we check our journal, we do have a quest here now. It says defeat 5 Minox in the security center. I guess as part of reconnaissance, it's customary to clear out any threats in the immediate area, or maybe get a sample tasting of how difficult they may be. So let's make sure the rest of our buffs are active. These Minox are level 85, it looks like. This one's a cool green color. I don't remember these Sulfur Minox being green. I remember them being the more customary red color. But honestly, I might change my Minox to be green. This one's kind of metal looking. It's got like big green tongue. I like it. Either way, hey guys. We're just gonna go hard on this one. You all know by now, it's hard for me to hold back with the AoE, especially an officer, where that's a lot of my damage. All right. So those weren't too tough. The sergeant calls in and says, with the swarm defeated, you should move on to the next location and continue with the recon. So we're going to move over to scout the computer server room. It's a little bit further up north here. We're going to go back down into this hallway, take a left through this room where we got those collection pieces, and head up this way. So one thing that I do want to note that is if you start doing this and you feel that you need to buff up, maybe you forgot to, or you want to get your bearings a little bit more, as we're going up this way, you'll see this doorway open on the right with these two lights. If we go down here, you'll find the main elevator. So this is the main elevator that lets you enter and exit this zone. You have 3 terminals in here. You have the exit zone option. You could also go straight to the mining sector, which is another instance zone like the industrial zone we're currently in, and a system data control terminal, which I believe is related to a quest. But if you also head behind here, you'll see a 2-1B surgical droid. If you should meet an untimely demise down here, you will be cloned to this location if you choose to clone to the area. Next to this 2-1B, though, we'll see a crate of Rebel prototype armor pieces. So we'll pick that up while we're here. And a junction box access terminal, which we don't really have an interest in right now. But let's keep going back up to the server room. The overhead map is a very useful tool that you all see me use quite frequently, but especially in these instance areas where there's multiple paths that sometimes you can take, it's obviously very useful here for keeping your bearings and seeing which ways you might want to travel to get to the locations. But we come up here to the computer server room, and you'll see a very similar situation with sulfur minox filling the area. We have to defeat 4 of them, so let's just go ahead and do that. There are a few more of them in here clustered up, so I would be careful. If you are maybe not buffed up as much, or maybe a little bit squishier than I am, even though, again, I am not the most durable of Bothans out there. This reminds me that I did not put my med packs on this bar. Probably didn't need to take that much risk, but you know, grenades. We get, after defeating 4 of them, we get a call for the communicator from the sergeant that says, with the swarm defeated, you should move on to the next location and continue your next your recon. I hope you're seeing a theme here. We're going to go to the droid maintenance center, though, which is south of us. So let's go back from whence we came. So before entering this doorway that leads to the droid maintenance center, in this room, again, with 4 doors, right to the side, you'll see some more collection items. So you want to go ahead and grab those while you're here. Go ahead and grab them. These items are not just in this instance, by the way. They're scattered throughout Bespin. You'll not only be needing to enter instances like the industrial sector and the mining sector to complete some of these collections, but also climbing some of the high-rise skyscrapers that we'll be going in and out of during our journey here on Bespin. But as we head down this hallway right here, we'll come to the droid maintenance center, where they'll want us to destroy malfunctioning droids, which I believe are over here in this room, yes. Which you can see they're pretty tough. Level 89 elites. We got here 44,000 health, but there's only like a couple of them in this room. So you know what time it is. Oh, that one wasn't tough. Oh, that was a level 7 elite with a whopping 2,000 health. I guess it's because it's a mouse droid. So I guess if you really want to take your time here, you could just, you know, only defeat the mouse droids. Likely due to the reduced numbers here, these droids don't feel as dangerous as pulling all those Minox at the same time. So that room's been emptied. But if we head across the other side, which, by the way, I want to point out in this room before we go, actually, because if I don't, I'm going to forget. Is this a Jawa hanging out here in the corner? I don't know how this Jawa got here, but I would love to know his story. But if we walk over across from this Jawa, we can see more patrol trooper armor pieces, so let's grab that. Which, of course, pisses off some nearby NPC, but I think they're on the other side of the wall. So let's just ignore that. Let's ignore that combat that just, you know, didn't. Alright, so there's a couple more malfunctioning droids in here. Ooh, maybe I bit off too much. All right, you know what? I'm already committed. Well, maybe that was stupid. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Wow. Y'all are strong. Oh my god, do they death blow? Oh, we're not gonna find out though. I got the swift heal procs. We're okay. There was more R units in there than I thought there were. Gonna be real with you all right now. Wow. Okay, cool. They don't death blow. Figured that out for you all. Well, let's get the rest of the malfunction droids we need. You know, in retrospect, probably should have. I mean, ultimately, I probably shouldn't have challenged them all at once. But I should have probably just committed and killed them all, huh? That probably would have worked out. It's kind of like when you learn to drive a car. One of the things they teach you is like, hey, if you're gonna go, go. If you're not gonna go, don't go. If you don't hesitate, like commit to your action. This is definitely one of those situations where if I just committed to leaving or staying, probably would have been incapacitated. But maybe that's a good demonstration of how dangerous this questline is, which is recommend being fully geared. Honestly, play it with a friend. You'll probably have a lot of fun doing this with a friend also, since there's a lot of traveling around the planet you'll need to do. And having a travel buddy is always welcome. But after we destroyed the last malfunction droid, it says the rest of the droids in the room seem to be ignoring you now. You should take this opportunity to check out that adjacent room over there. Which is referring to the first room we entered. Which says scout the abandoned Black Sun warehouse, which is now a different area. I'm not sure why we had to scout that room, but while we're running across this industrial sector, it's probably a good time to mention that the entire Bespin storyline, if you're going at a pretty moderate pace, will likely take you about 10 hours. You can likely do it much faster if you're doing it with a friend, or if you are skipping more of the text, the quest text and the story. I'm going to be reading out all of the story. I'm also going to be trying to do it solo without the help of my other characters, which we'll see how well that goes. There's one or two points that I'm a little concerned about the difficulty of doing it as a solo melee officer with the build that I'm running. But we'll see. But yeah, again, you can expect this quest line to take you roughly 10 hours. You can likely do it much faster again with specific builds and if you're running through text quickly. But it'll have you doing a lot of traveling across Bespin. So that will take up definitely the bulk of your time while doing this quest is just A to B. But that's just, you know, MMOs, especially Star Wars Galaxies in general. Most of it's going to be doing A to B. All right, we've scouted this storage room, which we're not allowed into, as it looks like there's some Imperial standing in there. And another Imperial. Wow. You guys didn't lock the door, though. I can definitely see into your little secret base down here. If I had to guess, I haven't done it yet. This is probably where you start for the Imperial side of the quest. Don't quote me on that one. But I'd guess that's probably where you start. But we've scouted all the locations, so let's return to the Sergeant. Alright, back with the Sergeant. They say, you're back. Great. How'd it go? You recon the area? Yep. I got a good look around. And I even know how warm the floor is from the droids. Encapping me. So, the Sergeant asks, what did you find? I reply with angry Minox, crazy droids, and a turbo lift we can use to navigate the city. I'm not an engineer, says the Sergeant, but if I were to hazard a guess, I'd say the droids were abandoned along with the sector, and their processors or logic circuits have malfunctioned. But if we could find a way to repair some of these droids, I then continue, sharing a brain cell for the moment, we'd have a bunch of them to help us unload the transport and set up the base. The Sergeant says, exactly, but like I said, I'm not an engineer. I'd have no clue how to go about fixing faulty droids. You need to speak with one of our engineers. You should track down Mariana. I tracked her down. She's your best bet at fixing up these droids. I'll try to find her. Any idea where she'd be? Try over near those computer terminals that are being set up. Mariana's got a knack for wiring. She'll probably be helping out over there. Good to know. I'll go speak with her right away. Keep me up to date with your progress with the droids, and good luck. My guess is that this quest NPC was either supposed to be somewhere else. Yeah, probably downstairs. But they moved her up here. That, or she just keeps spawning up here for some reason. But either way. She says, yes, how can I help you? I can ask, is there anything you need help with? She says, yes, we found a bunch of droids that can help us out. Yeah, I did that. I found that. The problem is that said droids are crazy and quite bloodthirsty. I mean, they didn't attack unless I attacked them, but I'll need to know more about what's causing the droids to malfunction before I can prescribe a fix. I can get you that information. Exactly how do I get it, though? You'll need to take down a droid from each model that's malfunctioning and extract their chassis. Once you've done that, head to the droid diagnostic bay for this sector and connect the chassis up to the diagnostic terminal. The terminal's diagnostic logs should give me all the information I need. I'll get on it right away. Just a reminder, you'll need a fully intact chassis for each droid model. Try not to damage them too extensively. Got it. I'll be back soon. Good luck. So let's go back to the droid manufacturing center, or maintenance center. All right, so we're in the maintenance center, and now we need to collect droid chassis. We're going to need a mouse droid, binary load lifter, dumb series, INS 444, 8D8, and 3PO series. For those who don't know, the dumb series is the pit droids. This is not a lore. This is not a test of your lore, but you see, once we got that, we got lucky, got the chassis, and it completed it. These are chance-based, by the way, so I've gotten lucky in the first two. Let's try the load lifter. I could drop some AoEs and aggro all of them, but considering they're all like level 89, there's quite a few of them in here. And I remember recently doing this part with Griffin Striker and his officer. Yeah, I probably don't want to do that. All right, we got our load lifter. These mouse droids are upset with us, so let's just get rid of them. I'm just pissing everything off slowly. Here's an 8D droid. Interesting that they're 8D and not 8D8. Nothing found off that one. Let's try this 3PO unit. These droids are kind of hostile, but to be fair, I am attacking their allied droids. That's not what I wanted to hit. Well, at least I go fast now. It's gonna AoE that one. It's fine. We still need a 3PO series chassis, unfortunately. And I think I killed all the 3PO droids, so we're gonna have to wait for them to respawn. If you're doing this with a group, it's a percent chance drop for everybody. So I'll go try and defeat one of these malfunctioning ones. I don't think these count. I think it's only the ones in that main room, but let's see if we get the nothing found update from it. Nope. Okay, yeah. It's only droids in this main room that count towards the quest. So we're gonna have to wait for some 3POs to reappear. Oh, didn't need that one. But I'll throw grenades on it. Oh, there's the last one. Oh my goodness. Oh, I exited out of it. Sorry. It probably said something about, I mean, I could put it up on screen when I do this edit. It probably said something about we have to we have all the chassis go to the diagnostic bay. It's about 10 hours to complete this quest line. Yes, at least for the Rebel side, the first time I did this quest line, it did take me 10 hours. I remember this specifically because I tried to complete all, I believe, like in a 6-hour stream on May the 4th one year. And I did not finish that. It took me 2 more 3-hour streams to finish it. All right, but now that we are in the maintenance area, we have to use the diagnostic terminal, which, oh, I was right next to it. Object permanence. The message from the terminal says the diagnostic terminal whirs into life. You connect each chassis to the terminal in turn, then download the diagnostic logs. Once done with the final chassis, you should head back to Marina and speak with her. So let's go back to her. Oh yeah, there's also Death Armor trooper pieces here, I guess. I'll try picking them up. Is it this? Who's attacking me? Is it that droid? No, it's this pit droid. You got talked back into playing Legends. What brought you back in? Was it City Update 2.0 and a friend being like, "Hey, can you come boost the citizen count in my city, please?" Or are you playing this quest line with a friend? But I'm glad you've been enjoying the stream. Thanks for hanging out. So we're back with Marina. Marina? I think it's supposed to be Mirena. You're back with those diagnostic logs. I hope. Got them right here. Hand her the logs. She takes the logs. She says, give me a minute or two to look through them. So if we say take your time, oh, I guess maybe it doesn't matter. Both progress it. She says, if you can download a copy of the standard processing algorithms from the sector's old computer servers, I have an interface tool you can connect to the droids and use to upload the algorithms to them. That should deal with the feedback loop and fix the droids. I say, sounds easy enough. If you give me the interface tool, I'll go get started right away. She says, here you go. Then in brackets states she hands you the interface tool. She then says, if you can reprogram a dozen or so droids with this, we should have a workforce big enough to finish setting up this place by the end of the day. I respond with, got it. I'll order the droids. I reprogrammed to head here right away. And so he receives 25,000 credits for that. And then we have to go ahead to the computer server room. And if you see in your inventory, you'll get Marena's droid interface. We're going to have to use those items on droids. But first, let's go to the computer room. What the fuck did I just click? God damn it. Yeah, I've misstarted on my bus day. Back here for about 3 weeks. Friends talk to you and do it. Okay, 3 weeks. That predates City Update 2.0 that released last week. I just asked because I know some people have come back to the game recently with the update, wanting to check it out, see how any cities they may have been in or running are doing. I also know a lot of people have been stretching for citizens lately. Some interesting recruitment strategies I've been seeing lately. Some people have even been trying to recruit mayors to run cities for them. Not just run them, though. Run and grow them. But we are back here at the computer server room. We have to defeat 4 Minox again. Remember last time we maybe defeated too many, so let's just take a couple out. But I'm just too popular. They all show up. I'm not going to core bomb and artillery, as that might piss too many off. Okay, I'm going to have to commit now. There are just too many, and they keep using wind buffing on me, which is annoying. Quit it. That one got stuck. Well, either way, we got a message after defeating them saying, with the vermin dealt with, you can now download a copy of the droid's original processing algorithms from the terminal. Which is the terminal that is this one Minoc is floating over still, so let's defeat them. Click the terminal. Now that you've downloaded the processing algorithms, head back to the droid maintenance center and use Marena's interface tool on the droids. All right, back to the maintenance center. Yeah, so I've been seeing people trying to recruit people to their cities, obviously with the usual tactics of, hey, we got a big guild, we'll give you all these services, or we got a big city, we have a bunch of services. You know, we'll give you like stuff to help you start out, gear, housing, blah. But there's one post I saw in the Legends Discord where, so they're recruiting a mayor. They want somebody to run their city for them, which their city is a rank 1 city on Dantooine, meaning that at most there's only 3 unique accounts there to start with, and 7 characters. And they are going, they're willing to pay a flat fee in credits and give them like AT-AT heads for use in the city, so to build a travel center. And I'm like, I kind of expected that to happen with this update. Some people trying to recruit people who actually want to run cities, as running cities does take some time and effort, especially once you're decorating them, doing constant recruiting, etc. But they're offering 50 million credits and 10 AT-AT heads, and I'm like, hey, you got to be careful with that strategy. There's a very, very good odds somebody will say yes to that. Take the credits, take the heads, sell off the city, because Dantooine's a very popular planet for cities due to a lot of nostalgia factors for people and lore reasons. And so even though there's 50 cities, it could be competitive to get a city there. Sell it off to somebody else for more credits and then just ghost you. So, careful. We're back here at the droid center, though, but we have to capture droids for the rebellion. So if we take we target like a mouse droid, and if we I think, do you have to drag it over? Yeah, we gotta get close, drag it over, and then they'll convert. Send some low lifters. It doesn't really matter which ones you send. They're all just gonna, you know, move cargo. Maybe I should send mouse droids. They'll be like, wow, we really need droids to move cargo. And it's like, why they just send a bunch of freaking mouse droids? I like variety. Let's do an 8d8. Do some INS. Someone might need a little butler. All right, so that's all 12. Let's get out of here. All right, back with Marina. Just kidding. Gotta talk to the sergeant. Marina just said good work on the droids. They should be arriving any minute now. Speak with the sergeant. The sergeant says, great work reprogramming those droids. I've already put them to work unloading material from the transport. Hope the mouse droids help with that. I say, I'm glad it worked. Marina estimated that we'd be set up by the end of the day. The sergeant said, we probably would, as some screams and explosions go off. And in brackets says, a massive boom sounds from the nearby transport. Several screams are heard, accompanied by a few blaster shots. What in the blazes was that? I say, I've got no idea, but it came from the ship. I got a bad feeling about this. Go check it out quickly. I'll hold the fort here. I'm on it. And we've been given 30,000 credits for the last one. I think we just have to go this way. Real talk. Forget where I have to go. Okay, we go up the elevator into this hallway. It says, as you leave the Rebel base of operations, the noise is gone. Strange. You should head back to see if everything is all right. So I guess we checked the front entrance. Even though it sounds like it came from the transport. Well, as we come back in here, the poor Rebel collapses to the ground dead. Defend yourself from the allies. This is the injured... Defend yourself and your allies. This is the injured Rebel that's going to run up and collapse at our feet. The 10-second timer is for an incoming wave of enemies, so I guess let's prepare ourselves for that, make sure we're all buffed up. I guess we can be sweaty and put a rally point here. You scoop up one of the droid's chassis. Marina should be able to use this analysis to analyze why your reprogramming seemingly failed. Go speak with her immediately. We still have to survive the ambush, though, which there was 2 of them. Marina says, what in the name of spirits is going on? I was talking to Kamar when those droids I reprogrammed went crazy. Oh my goodness. Oops. What? That shouldn't have happened. Are you sure you reprogrammed them correctly? It's no carriage line. I can't. I'm going to read as much of this as I can. I'm positive I downloaded a copy of the droid's processing algorithms from the databanks and uploaded it to each of the droid. It worked right away. They immediately reset themselves and followed. Then it must have been caused by something else entirely. Can you go and grab one of the droid chassis from the bunch that went crazy? Way ahead of you. I knew you want to study this, or grab one anticipating that. Hand Marina the chassis. These droids weren't malfunctioning. They were following orders. Each transmitter has a unique identification number that can be used to trace transmissions back to their source. It looks like whoever sent these orders tried to erase the transmitter ID, but was only partially successful. Can you determine the transmitter's location? I think so. It's not one of the city's transmitters, that's for sure. Give me a minute. And then in brackets it says Marina fiddles with her datapad for a few moments. Then Marina says, got it. It's an abandoned warehouse in the sector, but not far from here. I respond with, I'm going to go and investigate. We need to find out who sent these orders and if they're aware of our base here. Marina just says, just be careful. Like I said, this isn't one of Cloud City's transmitters. Whoever set this one up, presumably own the warehouses it's based in. My best bet would be some sort of criminal gang, probably smugglers or privateers. They might still be there, even though this sector was abandoned. Thanks for the heads up. I'll be careful. Marina says, I'll talk to Kamar while you're gone and tell him about what's going on. Good luck. So we have to go to the abandoned Black Sun warehouse. I guess it kind of spoils, you know, what great gang it is, considering it says it on the label. But we're going to head over there. I'm going to put on some more defensive buffs, as this part is going to be... I don't remember if we have to fight the boss immediately here, but we'll see. All right, so we're at the Black Sun warehouse. We have to investigate it, and we received 30,000 credits upon getting here. Or no, once we took this part. But either way, it says we have to kill creatures in the abandoned Black Sun warehouse, which include Womp Rats, Giant Womp Rats, and Minox. So let's go ahead and start doing that. You can see there's quite a few in here, so I'm definitely not going to be attacking all of them at once, even as much as I want to. But we're going to be careful. You can also see there's some Black Sun smugglers hanging out in the corners. We don't need to fight them, at least not yet, so let's just stick to picking off the creatures, huh? Alright, we took out the Sulfur Minox. So let's walk around to the Womp Rats. Usually what I do is I kind of zigzag through here. So we'll take out this pocket of Womp Rats. And then we'll head over, or that pocket of Minox, and we'll head over to these Womp Rats. Which it looks like I got quite the crowd here, but I think I'm going to save a spot where I can try and take them all on at once. Alright. We've taken out enough Womp Rats. We just need to take out the giant one now, which I believe it's referring to the Alpha Bespin City Sewer Womp Rat, level 86. Come on over. Let's take out the second one before I read this message that popped up. It says, with the vermin dealt with, you notice some sort of antennae at the far end of the warehouse. That's presumably the transmitter you came to search for. Go and investigate it. Let's take out... I'm going to be taking out my droid for this one, telling it to guard me. I'm also going to be switching to Breath of Heaven, and I believe there's some poisoning that can happen here, so we'll take that. I have Glancing Blow power-ups on. We're going a little bit defensive here. This might be a boss. There are bosses throughout the Bespin questline. There are specifically 3. The first boss has to do with this antenna and is undoubtedly the most dangerous. So this is definitely a check. If you can get through this one by yourself, you should be fine with the rest of the bosses. If you can't, maybe ask a friend to help you with this one, but just because you fail this boss doesn't mean you can't do the other 2 alone. We're gonna access this. All right, the antenna, not the terminal. Battle begins. Yep. All right, we're gonna drop a rally point. Here's the Black Sun operative. I can't hold back on this guy. He's strong. Makes this guy tough is he has a few buffs, which you can see on his bar, that do help him quite a bit. The Rancor Maw, increasing his attack rate by 40%. The Green Eye, decreasing or increasing his damage dealt. The Shield, giving him a 90% damage resistance and 5,000 extra armor. My droid is not doing too much damage, but as I always say, some damage is better than no damage. Oh yeah, he also does that, which sucks. He resets your cooldowns, and he summons a bunch of droids to help him out. I also think he just healed. Which if he did, fuck him. We gotta take out these droids. Any extra damage is bad here. While he's not doing too much damage to me, he does hurt. So I just, even if these droids are only doing a little bit, I just want him gone. You see, he does have phases, though. He won't do this cooldown reset until about 50% health, I think. The rest of the buffs, he rocks pretty regularly, so... Getting some lucky inspiration procs there in a row. Keeping that heal on cooldown, using those officer heals as much as I can. Ooh, he just hit me really, really hard there. And it looks like I can't purge that. We're gonna have to shield up. Oh, but the shield was on cooldown because of the fucking... because of his ability, dude! I'm gonna spam but concentrate back to tank here. Got it. Okay. What? Don't reset. Don't reset. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, unfortunately, yeah. My droid kept him in combat for a little bit there. Oh no, he reset. What do I do? Do I try and find him again? Yeah, I know, boo. Like I said, this guy's the hardest. If it wasn't for that poorly timed cooldown reset, I think we had him. Let me wait for my cooldowns to come off a little bit, specifically the binoculars. Let's see if we can get this second attempt here. So if you're doing this with at least 2 players, he'll only reset the cooldown on one of the 2 players. There might be a radius to it, but if you just stay split up a little bit, you shouldn't have too much of a problem only having it affect 1 player, not 2. Oh, he just starts opening with those now. That's not good. Apparently his phase difficulty doesn't reset in between attempts if he's still alive. That's unfortunate. This is gonna be very hard. Especially since my snapping stimulator doesn't cleanse that debuff. Ooh, and now I'm out of officer's tax. I need those swift heals. I think I can call down a rally point again, though, in a few moments. Oh, no, and then he reset my cooldown again. Right when he did that. Bro, okay. I gotta get some help. So let me go run over this corner. That's okay. I kind of half expected this to happen. So give me a minute here, and we'll get my medic up in here. This is a good demonstration, though, how difficult this fight actually is. So I'm not really that disappointed. Just kind of like, yeah, all right, figured. Okay, I think we're good to try this boss again, though, everybody. So let's give it a go this time with my medic. Just pumping heals in me. So I'm gonna bring this boss over here. We're gonna drop this here. We got Monkey helping. My two options of pets were basically either one that's gonna reduce the damage output of the enemy with Enfeeble, or increase the amount of damage I do. I'm not too worried about surviving now that I just have health being pumped into me by my medic. So I think we can go with Shaken and get a little bit of damage in a little bit more often. My medic did get the cooldown reset on him, though, for that first one, and that was likely due to healing threat. I didn't open very hard, but that's okay. Yeah, so obviously much easier with a medic on hand, or just anybody. Like, Griffin and I did this with our smuggler and officer, and we were able to survive it. Granted, my smuggler is set up to do a lot of single target debuffs to reduce outgoing damage with things like Spot a Sucker. So single target, damage negations, it's pretty much their strength when it comes to surviving something. If this was multiple targets, like 2 bosses at a time, might be a little bit sweatier. But also having all the action from the General's Aspect Officer was super helpful. If I was like a Jedi, I could be able to solo this pretty easily. Any Beastmaster build could solo this. Medic probably having the easiest chance because this Medic Beastmaster is pretty dominant. Luckily, this Black Sun Operative does whip out a melee weapon, so I got my parry chance still going on. I could have tried that here instead of Glancing Blow, but I thought he would stick to a ranged weapon, to be honest, so I'm glad that he's melee, though. Not just because of the parry fact, but because then he comes over and tries to, like, fight us. He doesn't stand in a bunch of enemy spawns that I don't have to deal with. By the way, when he does do that very powerful attack that we've seen, like, cleave my health, he does scream out in chat. You don't see it because I have the chat bubbles turned off for NPCs. How much health does this guy have? 319,000, man. That elite ranking is kind of deceptive. But he says, like, this rune is deadly, is when he does the strike. So that on top of all the buffs, again, yeah, the rage gives a 2 times damage increase, so he's doing double damage. So you can have double damage up and do that big hit. But there we go. Gotta use the warehouse transmitter again, which is now, I guess, the terminal. Nope. It is the antenna. Now I can go back to Mayrena. Cool. We did it. Yay. All right. So, like I said, that is soloable. I've done it with my medic here. He soloed it with his pets. I've done it with... Oh, I actually haven't done it with my commando yet, but my commando could probably solo that in a tanky setup with a frontman set and some strength precision stacking going on. We're going to say goodbye to my medic for now. He's going to go hang out in Bespin somewhere. We might call upon his assistance later, but again, I'm going to try and do this solo again. So I guess I am 0-1 when it comes to soloing the bosses. There are 2 more that we have to do. The next one I'm very confident on, specifically because I was able to not only tank it as my smuggler when I was doing this with the Griffin Striker, but also think I did so much damage to it that Griffin, by the time he figured out where the boss was, it was almost dead, despite it being a more difficult enemy class with a boss with the gold rating instead of silver. So we'll see how it goes. Again, I might be misremembering things here. Hopefully we won't need him for the third boss, as I believe the third boss is in a kind of inconvenient location to get to. But my medic, having completed all of these quests already, has access to all of them. So that is the main thing that I do want to note, is that if you do need assistance on a quest as part of this quest line, depending where that quest is, you might not be able to get help from any person. So the industrial sector and the mining sector, anybody can go into. There's no prerequisite for it. However, the Wingguard headquarters has an access key that you need to get into. So if somebody has not done either the appropriate prerequisite quests on the Rebel or Imperial side, they won't be able to enter that to help you. There's another instance, but I don't know if it locks out certain characters. I know the Wingguard HQ does. All right, back with Morena. She says, "You're back. Did you find whoever said this transmissions?" "No, unfortunately not. I wound up in a Black Sun warehouse. Some of their goons were still there and they jumped me." Black Sun? What are they doing in Cloud City? I have no UI mods, by the way, and I don't even use the UI scaling. Oh, there we go. Got to appear by rotating this time at least. But, so this is just formatted like this, I guess. I don't think they are anymore. The warehouses looked abandoned. I think the goons were left behind as guards to protect their assets in case Black Sun decides to come back someday. Mariana says, "I see. Still, it's worrying that they are here in any capacity. But we can't afford to worry about Black Sun now with all those droids running rampant. We need to keep searching for whoever ordered them to go crazy. How do we go about continuing the search?" "You should head to the security center and search the logs of the cameras. While you're there, you should disable the cameras in here. We don't want anyone using our own trick to find us. That'd be unfortunate." "Right, I'll do that too." And then Miranda says, "I will apprise Kamar of where you're going. Good luck. May the Force be with you." And for that quest, we receive 40,000 credits, and we start getting the Rebel prototype armor. So if you're doing this quest line, there are 2 armor sets that you have the potential of receiving based on the faction that you are a member of. So if you're doing the Rebel quest line, you'll be getting the Rebel prototype armor, which some of you might go, "Hey, this shoulder piece looks familiar, Burrito." Yeah, it's it is what I'm wearing as part of my appearance set. I'm not wearing the full set of Rebel prototype armor, obviously, but I am wearing the bracers, one of the biceps, the pants. I'm not currently wearing the helmet or the chest or the right bicep, but we did actually get the right bicep here, which is how this kind of cool like exoskeleton thing going on. I just wanted something a little bit more calm, so I actually used the Marauder Reconnaissance right bicep instead. So you'll be rewarded with these items. On the Imperial side, you will get a different set of armor. Armor is all about aesthetics and personal opinion. The general consensus is a lot more people gravitate towards the Imperial set of armor. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I do remember what it looks. And I'll say it is pretty slick looking. Maybe it has a little bit more flexibility than the Rebel one, specifically because the Rebel prototype armor, you can't change its color palette, which is why I've kind of colored this right bicep and chest piece to be like this brown color. The Imperial one can't be changed color, but I think it's like a silverish looking color or gray. I'll put, if you're watching this one on YouTube, I'll put a picture of it on the screen off from the wiki. But yeah, so keep that in mind. Either way, we're having to go back to the security center, which you'll remember is full of Minox, so let's head over there. All right, so in here we have to use the center control terminal, which is in the middle of all the Minox, so let's just kill them all anyways. But if we go up to the main security control, it says, "Those Pexi Minox have damaged the control terminal, the wiring, and main power cell need to be replaced." If we go down the ramp, come around this way, head in here, we'll see that the giant sulfur Minoc queen is here, and you see that she's kind of hovering over some wiring. That's the wiring we need, so we're just gonna have a fight with this level 91 elite, which for comparison, she has 44,000 health. Much easier than the Black Sun member we just defeated. Also, I activated my sprint sim on accident. Yay! Oh, now she's defeated. Gotta click the wiring. which Marina comes over the comm saying that wiring should help you repair the control terminal, but none of the power cells are compatible. Use the turbo lift to head to the Trader Guild Hall, get us a power cell, and make sure not to identify yourself as a rebel. So finally, this questline is going to be taking us up and out of the industrial sector to Bespin proper. So let's head up that way. All right, so when you exit the industrial sector, you can actually now bring up your planetary map, which will show you Cloud City. The most useful category to use here is likely the points of interest, which will not only label a lot of interesting areas, but some important areas like the industrial mining sector elevator, which is where we're at, the respective spaceports, which of course you could click Starport to see where those are as well. And it does label the Trader Guild Hall, but we have a waypoint there already, so don't need to worry about that. So if you're ever lost on Bespin, you'll want to be checking out the points of interest category there. That's my spice wearing off. Please ignore the puking I'm doing while flying a jetpack. I'm just making big mess all over the Bespin roads. It's fine. I'm sure they have a droid or something to clean it up, probably. Here we are at the Trader Guild Hall. There we're going to need to find a power cell, which the journal says, look in the Trader Guild Hall on the surface of Cloud City if you can find a merchant to sell power cells. So we're going to need to be asking somebody. So let's see. When in doubt, ask named NPCs. Balin is a comm vendor, which we can actually talk to him and we can see that what he sells, which is a lot of stuff that you can redeem using the mixed Habana gas, which is gotten from a repeatable quest crafters can do. But he's not going to sell us the power cell we need. So let's go upstairs, which we could use doing one of the elevators in the corners of the bottom floor. Quilin Grom is the NPC who will actually give you the quest to earn mixed Habana gas. We'll see this door is locked, and if we open our overhead map up, we can see there's a couple areas we can peek into, like these side rooms in the west and east side, which this has some NPCs where you would deliver quest items related to doing the repeatable trader quest and crafting stations that you can leverage while here. As if you are completing the quest here, which I highly recommend for convenience sake, you'll be needing a crafting station to do so. But if we come upstairs, we can see this Ugnaught standing here with the name A Merchant. Well, we need to speak to a merchant, so maybe he'll sell us the power cell. His name is Inkor. In brackets, it says the Ugnaught squeaks at you in his guttural language. You have no idea what he's saying, but whatever it is, he's clearly quite emphatic. You can respond in a very condescending way, saying, sorry, little guy, I don't speak your language, which is very condescending coming from the Bothan who is shorter than the Ugnaught. In brackets, we have, you blink in surprise as the Ugnaught swaps to basic. The Ugnaught saying, I'm not surprised, but a little disappointed. There are over 2 million of my people in Cloud City, but pretty much no one of your kind bothers to learn our language to communicate with us. So we have two options here, saying, with the first one being, why bother learning a new language and you can just buy a translator droid? That's their purpose to translate. Or the second one saying, I guess I never considered how annoying it might be to have people you work for refuse to learn to communicate with you. I'm sorry. Let's go to the second one. The merchant says, that's all right. I shouldn't have snapped at you. You seem like a nice person. Was there any business you wanted to discuss? Well, to be fair, we didn't have a nice response initially, but the merchant says, or we can say that depends on whether or not you're able to help me. What exactly do you sell? Or do you? The Ugnaught responds, though I occasionally dabble with data work, I'm primarily an information broker. If someone needs to know something or someone, they come to me. And I say, I'm in need of some information right now, actually. Maybe you can help me? The merchant responds, of course I can help, for a price. I say I don't have many credits as I open my inventory and look at the 8 mil I have sitting there. But what I do have is yours. I really need this information. Credits are not what I'm looking for in return for my information. So then we ask, what are you looking for? The merchant responds, a favor, just a simple favor. We say, that seems fair. What can I do for you? Oh, I'm not in any need of anything at the moment, but I should the need rises. I'll contact you to collect one on this favor. I respond, all right, I guess I don't have much of a choice. We have a deal. The Ugnaught responds, excellent. Now, what information can you need? And I ask, I need to know where to find fresh power cell compatible with one of the Cloud City's very, very old computer terminals. I see, and exactly why do you need such a thing? And I say, my reasons are my own. Any decent information broker understands the need for confidentiality. As I wear a set of Rebel armor with the Rebel insignia on it, I am not exactly being discreet here. Either way, the Ugnaught responds, "True. I know of where you can find a power cell. There's an information terminal near the turbo lift, which leads to the abandoned industrial sector. No one goes there anymore, so the terminal lays abandoned. You should be able to disconnect its power cell for your ease. Thanks. You've been a big help." The Ugnaught says, "Just remember, we have an agreement. I'll contact you when I need that favor." And I say, "I'll remember and I'll honor our agreement. I keep my word." The Ugnaught says, "Good. It was my pleasure doing business. Best of luck with your endeavors." So let's go back to the industrial sector. I will say that, sniping a power cell from a nearby terminal to fit your need probably seems like a pretty straightforward and simple solution, likely one that we shouldn't have needed to go search out for, but we'll say narratively, the rebels are in a stressful situation and a little worried after the recent droid freak out, so maybe they're not firing on all cylinders at the moment. But let's go ahead and get this power cell. All right, back at the terminal lift, here's the abandoned information terminal. Let's click that. We take. We get a message that says, you pop open the information terminal's casing and extract the power cell. Head back to the abandoned industrial sector, security center, and fix the control terminal there. Okay, back to the industrial sector. Just for the sake of trying things, let's just go try and click the terminal really fast and get out. You successfully download the security camera for the logs this sector after repairing the terminal. So let's go back to Marina, which we did, in fact, piss off the Minox. I'm just gonna... That's just fine. I just wanted to see if we can get in and out, which you can. Okay, they dropped the threat pretty fast. So if you don't want to fight them all, you can just run in, click the terminal, and then get out. Back with Marina. She says, "You're back. How did it go?" "Mission accomplished. The terminal was very busted up, but I managed to get it working with the help of an Ugnaught named Inker. Though we do owe him a favor." Marina says, "Seems like a fair trade. A favor for a favor. So you get the security camera logs." "Yep, I download them to my datapad. Here you go." Marina says, "Great work. Let's see who's behind these droids running rampant." In brackets, it says, Marina fiddles with the datapad for a number of minutes. Suddenly, she gasps loudly and drops the datapad in shock. We don't have many of those. Be careful with that shit. I say, there's, "Are you okay?" Or, "Marina, what is it? Are you okay?" She says, wordlessly. Marina picks up the datapad and has your hand's shaking. Take the datapad and read the security footage. Hold on. I want to see something. If I pick the first one, does it, skip this? Marina explains what she saw Imperials on the datapad security footage. Imperials here in Cloud City by the Force. What are we going to do? Okay, so it seems like when you have those options to get more information or pick the first one will expedite the conversation a little more, with the second one will give you more background information. So it might skip you further in the dialogue. So if you want to just kind of get the highlights, you should be picking the first one. If you want the full text, I believe you should be clicking that second one. I was curious because we kept getting these two options, but they seem the same. But that's what that is. But apparently it looks like there's Imperials here. Surprise, it's not like we saw them earlier. But Marina says, what do you expect us to do? Most of our people are on death's door or critically injured. We're alone, with no way to call for help, and even if we could, the rebellion itself is very nearly destroyed after Hoth. I reply, we can't just stand by and do nothing. If we do, Cloud City's people are going to suffer under Imperial rule. They'll be slaves in all but name. Marina says, at the end of the day, I'm not the one who decides what we do. As the highest ranking officer, it's Sergeant Kamar's decision whether or not we help. If he decides that we do, I'll do everything I can to fight the Imperials, but you need to understand the odds are against us. I say, I understand and thank you. I wouldn't be much of a rebel if I didn't try and stick it to the Empire. Go talk with Kamar. He'll decide on what we can do from here. We got 50,000 credits. Kamar says, hey, you're back. Wait, are you all right? You look a little unsettled. What's wrong? I have bad news, to say the least. It's just funny because you think you hear the conversation. Even if we were down there, it's a loud... I'm sure the hangar's pretty loud inside, but it's okay. The sergeant says, oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. That's me staring at the screen. What's the bad news? And then in brackets says, tell Kamar about the Imperials aboard Cloud City and their plans to take over the city. Kamar doesn't speak for some time. He is clearly taken aback and reeling from this revelation. You said you used the cameras in the sector to discover the Imperials, right? That's right. but it was completely by accident. We were just trying to find out who took control of Cloud City's droids. The sergeant says security cameras can help us track their movements and help us counteract their sabotage. I want you to head back to wherever you access these security cameras. Call up their security logs again and see where the Imperials have gone to start their sabotage. And then I reply, once I find out where they've gone. The sergeant says, follow them and do whatever you need to counteract their sabotage. Just remember, they can't discover you. Got it. I'll be sneakier than a Cathar hunting Salopis. Okay. The sergeant says, I've never met a Cathar, but I'm going to assume they're quite sneaky. Good luck, and the fight starts here. Alright, so back in the security center, we have to access the control terminal. I think it's the terminal on the other side. Or, no, is it the main terminal again? Alright, I defeated the Minox again. Let's do the main security control terminal. Yep. You spend some time sifting through the security camera logs. Eventually, you learn that the Imperial operative you tracked earlier has headed into one of Cloud City's mining sectors. Follow them. So now we have to go ahead to the mining sector. Alright, but let's head to the mining sector. To get into the mining sector, you have to go back to the turbo lift, which you can do from inside the industrial sector. You don't have to exit, but there'll be the mining sector option, and you just gotta pick an instance. Again, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Alright, so entering the mining sector, we have the sergeant come over to the comms saying, Kamar here. So they're in the mining sector. That's bad. It's one of the more important sectors in the entire city. Lots of critical systems to sabotage. We need to figure out which ones they've tampered with, head to that sector control room, and use its equipment to diagnose which systems have been sabotaged. Alright, looks like the control room's straight across from us here, but before we go over there, this turbo lift area is similar to the other one where you have the mining, the 21B surgical droid, so if you should clone in this area, you will clone right here. Alright, let's keep an eye out for collectibles, shall we? You can definitely see some different aesthetics here in the mining sector, which is nice. It's nice that an active area looks a little bit cleaner and sharper and have some different appearance than the industrial sector, which is abandoned and not as well maintained. So it's nice to have a visual distinction between the two. I went the wrong way. I knew this was the wrong way, but I did it anyways. All right, here we are in the main control room, and in here we're going to have to investigate a bunch of the terminals here. So we have to use the control room security, database, server bank, uplink terminal, and computer terminal. So basically everything with a name. Hopefully the Ugnaught workers don't mind. Sorry for getting in your way, everybody. It's this is a dire emergency. I have to. So there's the uplink terminal and server bank. If we go in here, I don't think we have to use that yet. Nope. We can see here is the control room terminal. Over here is the control room database. And here is the control room security terminal. You'll get a message that states the control room's equipment reports faults in the sector's tractor beam generators, Tabana gas miners, Tabana gas mines, Tabana gas refineries, and Kargan freezing chamber. Presumably the Imperials are to blame. Okay. The sergeant, we got 60,000 credits, and the sergeant says the Imperials have certainly been busy. Head to the generator room. Marina will be in touch once you have arrived. All right, let's go over there. All right, so we're entering the tractor beam generator room, which is one of the largest interior areas of either of these sectors, as you can tell. It goes up pretty tall, and it goes down pretty far. With some nice little gas fog effect going on. But Marina does contact us and say hello again. In order to figure out what the imps have done, I'll need a copy of each tractor beam's generators engineering logs. Can you grab them from all three generators? Okay, so we gotta interact with the generators in here, which if you get lost, always use your overhead map. Here's Alpha. Interesting they're using alpha and beta instead of like a rook and besh. But this isn't the first, but alpha, beta, you know, that appears throughout Star Wars Galaxies anyways, so it's not out of place. I just had the thought clicking on the terminal like, huh. Again, hopefully the Ugnaughts don't mind. I'm not here to mess up your work, everybody, but here's beta. And we must go to gamma. Marina comes back and says, I see what they've done. If you can take out a few maintenance droids from nearby and recover the parameters the droids implemented, we can restore the tractor beams. Okay, so more droids to smash. We have to go to Tabana Gas Mine 017. It's the easiest way to get there, I guess. Just have to go back from once we came. This is, again, the reason why I say when you're doing this quest line, make sure to have either Acaragum as your food of choice, or at least some of it on hand when you don't need the extra defense from a food like Breath of Heaven. So you can A to B a little bit faster, or have the movement speed increase in your Entertainer buff. Given the difficulty of some of the fights, like the Black Sun operative we did earlier, I'd recommend just drinking Acaragum and instead loading your Entertainer buff with more defensive attributes. I was running Kinetic, Energy, Glancing Blow, and I had Crit Chance on there. If I want to be a little bit more durable, I know a lot of the NPCs on Bespin do have some amount of critical hit chance, so crit hit reduction might have been helpful. Alternatively, you could get like the second chance heal proc, or just stack Constitution. That's probably the best thing to do, is this, instead of getting that extra crit chance, is putting some more Constitution on. But we are here at Tabana Gas Mine at 017, and we have to collect targeting parameters from these droids. So these are the droid saboteurs. So let's get them. They keep making a mess of shit. I'm not too scared of them. We're gonna poke them all. We got all the parameters we need. Cool. Oh my goodness, they just keep coming. There we go. Alright, so we have to go to the regenerator room, as Marina says. Great work getting the targeting parameters. You should be able to reprogram the tractor beam generators with them. Head back to the generator room and input those codes. Here we go. Oh, here's a crate of Death Trooper armor pieces that I overlooked earlier. Alright, back to the generator room. We have to interact with Alpha, Beta, and Gamma again. So, definitely on top of leg day today, running Bespin quests. Oh, and it's channel. Should I ever decide to do the Bespin quest line on my commando? Oh, it's going to be so slow doing all of this, because commandos only have access to double time, which is a terrible movement ability. Yeah, I mean, it was very slow on my medic, which has no movement ability. And when I was doing that like 6-hour stream, it was either a 6 or an 8-hour stream, by the end of it, doing Bespin for that entire time, I was like, man, I should have done this on something that, like my smuggler. Narrow escape doesn't last that long, but it's faster than nothing, which is what the medic rocks with. All right, with that, we've reprogrammed all the tractor beams, got another 60k. Marina says, great work, in need of the repair. Great work. The tractor beam generators have been fixed. No more cloud cars getting trapped by the errant tractor beam. On to the next system in need of repairs. Next system in need of repairs. The Tabana gas mines in that sector. The Imperials have sabotaged them all. Head back to the mine that you were just in. We'll start there. Okay, so back to mine 17. I always like looking down at the smoke area, see if you could like see anything down there, like little props that they placed. Like there's a droid that fell down there on its face, apparently an R2 unit, or maybe I think that might have been an R3 unit, hard to see from up here. Another droid, but that droid's not on the floor, it's clearly floating. Because, or at least the fog makes it look like it's floating. Oh, if anyone's wondering what these elevators do, by the way. Takes you to the upper catwalk area, which... I don't know if anything's up here, to be honest. I could run around there and look, but we're going to be doing... We've already done a lot of running, and we're still got a lot more running ahead of us, so... Let's keep it going. Alright, so we're back in the mine, and Marina contacts us, says clear out some of those droids in there. We don't want them undoing all of your hard repair work, so we have to defeat 8 of them. Alright, we can reactivate our power-ups now. I didn't do that earlier, because I was like, man, it's fine. I'm just gonna go in the middle. This might hit some of the Ugnaughts, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I believe there is a collection for being an Ugnaught Slayer, by the way. Yep. I just feel one that says activate Ugnaughts. Man, maybe I shouldn't have pulled that many. Hindsight's 20/20, everybody. In cap. In cap. Or maybe I'll get out of here. The Ugnaughts are pissed. We're okay. Marina contacts us again, says the main control room's terminal reported a malfunction, but couldn't identify the cause. Use the mine systems terminal to figure out the cause. Okay. Cool. Here is the mine systems terminal. Let's use that. All right, Marina recontacts us, says there's a smelter room nearby where metals are melted down. It looks like someone's redirected the exhaust and fumes from that smelter room into the coolant system. Head there and see if you can redirect the flow back to normal. Okay. Let's go to the smelter. Like the random Mustafarian panning droid. Listen, motherfuckers, I was going to leave you alone, but if you're going to keep doing this... Here we're in the smelter room. You've entered the mining sector smelter room. Regulate the smelter room exhaust piping. This one's also got quite the tall ceiling. The, specifically the crates being carried through, like, a orangish shield does give me Jedi Outcast 2 vibes. But from Nar Shaddaa, not Bespin. Alright, here's the exhaust piping. Exhaust flow, Nivel normal. Okay. So we gotta leave the smelter room. Also, I just want to point out there's a smelter room furnace. I think this is just a... I think this is the fireplace model? I don't remember. Looks familiar, though. Okay, let's leave the smelter room. Marina contacts us and says, go to the Tabana gas, or good work on mine 017, should be back up and running. Head to the next mine and see what's going wrong with that one. So we have to go to mine number 30, which is luckily not too far. My question is, aren't they mostly mining gas from the gas giant? What are they smelting? Okay, here we are. Marina says, same process as last time. Use the systems terminal to diagnose the issue, then we'll go about fixing it. Okay, well, let's run down the other side. So yeah, here's the Slayer Ugnaught collection, which you have to defeat 100 engineers, technicians, workers, smelters, and 25 supervisors, which gives you a badge and a large amount of XP. You know, the treasure keeper. Here is the exhaust. Next room. I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. Marina says, I found the issue. The Imperials have used the sector's chief engineer's codes to stop production and lock down the control terminals. Head to the chief engineer's office and see what you can download from his terminal. There's also the good use of a, was it like a medium-sized chemical extractor? I forget what it's specifically called. You can't see the tall part of it. It's in the wall. They just use this part of it. It's a good use of existing materials to look like it makes something else. I don't know. I don't remember the mining sector layout as much as the industrial sector. So I usually need to check my overhead map here a little bit more frequently. But I have successfully found my way to the chief engineer's, well, back to the engineering center, and then the chief engineer's office, which I went into earlier. We go to his desk terminal. You log on to the chief engineer's terminal and begin to download a copy of his access stuff, which here's some malfunctioning droids ambushing us, it seems. That's not what I wanted to activate. Maybe I should make that key binding something else, or at least move my sprint stim off the key next to it. With the malfunctional droids dealt with, you turn back to the chief engineer's terminal to check on the download progress, only to discover that's already complete. Now that you've got the codes, head back to mine 030 and deactivate the system lockout. Okay, back to the mine. All right, we're back now at the mining computer terminal, which we are attempting to restart using the chief engineer's codes. Receiving 70,000 credits, Mayrena contacts and says, next up on the list of systems needing repairs, Tabana Gas Refinery 4. Get going. Okay, well, oh, that's actually pretty close by. All right, you entered the Tabana Refinery. Mayrena contacts and says, what in the name of Sandy is going on in that room? It's all out chaos in there. Clear the room before we get to work. So in here we see some Ugnaughts, some Sulfur Minox, and some droid saboteurs. They want us to destroy the droid demolitionists, saboteurs, and Minox. So let's try and do that without killing every single Ugnaught in the room. Very easy for me to do accidentally. Well, more likely I'll get incapacitated trying to kill them all, but you know, whatever, man. So spanning the center of this room is this conveyor belt, which you can't walk through. The way to get over it is near the door where you entered from the south side. There's a staircase that goes up and then across over the conveyor belt down to the other side. If you're a ranged character, or you're playing a ranged build, or just have a gun on you, you can totally just fire across. You don't need to, like, cross, but I do. Specifically also because, you know, swinging a sword right now. Get up in their grill. Let's take out some of these demolitionist droids. I don't remember, it's been a little bit, but I believe this is the room where I think Griffin Striker actually did get incapacitated in. I'm gonna drop some AoEs over here because I do want to pick up that Creative Rebel prototype armor. So, and everything's gonna get pissed when I try and pick it up anyways, so might as well just get them all. I hit some on the other side. I can reach some of them. Can't reach that one. And this is why you always carry a ranged weapon on you, folks, even if you're running melee. But either way, after defeating that last saboteur droid, Mayrena contacts us and says, right, on repairs, you know the drill. Diagnose the issue with the computer terminal first, then we fix it. And that's the 8th Rebel prototype part out of 10. We haven't collected 8 so far. That was this number 8. Let's cross back across this catwalk and go back to the other side. And going back down through the door we came through, we'll find the computer terminal we're supposed to interact with now. Mayrena says, it looks like the Imperials have messed with the ingredient hoppers used in the refining process. One of those Ugnaughts might have seen what the Imperials injected. I tried finding one willing to talk to you. So if we go back this way, there is an Ugnaught that is scared over here. We speak to the scared Ugnaught. It just whimpers in fear and backs away from you, clearly thinking that you're there to hurt him. I say, hey, don't worry, little guy. Again, I am shorter than it, but okay. I'm not going to hurt you. In fact, I need your help. It squeezes something unintelligible. I say, earlier someone came in here and sabotaged your refinery. They injected something into the system that is messing up the refined Tabana. Did you see what they did? what substance they injected. It nods its head. Can you tell me? The Ugnaught thinks for a moment, then nods. He points first at you, then at himself. He mimes the act of walking, then points at the door, then up at the ceiling. And I say, you want me to escort you out of here and to the turbo lift so you can get out of here. And you'll tell me what the Imperials did if I do. It squeaks happily and nods. Clearly he just wants to go home. All right, I can do that. We have a deal. I get you out of here. You give me the information I need. The Ugnaught nods again. He seems happy with the arrangement. Right, stick close to me. Then I'll protect you and we'll get out of here. Squeaks once and begins to follow you. Keep him safe and take him to the turbo lift so you can escape. Okay, we gotta take him to the turbo lift. Here we go. Does he actually follow us? I forget. I guess we don't have to actually escort him. We just have to go to the turbo lift. Because he's not doing anything. I did this not too long ago, but I'm already forgetting. Not that that's new for me. There's definitely some things that I've done in this series where I'm like, yeah, it hasn't been too long since I did this. What am I doing? Alright, so as we get to the turbo lift, you call for the turbo lift as well as you wait some droids swarm to swarm towards you. Fight and finish them off. Or fight them off. Okay, so obviously you didn't have to escort the Ugnaught literally, which is good. You know, I know that system can get a little confusing, but we get a message after defeating the droids saying, the turbo lift relies, and just as you finish dealing with the droids, the Ugnaught squeaks happily at you once. He fishes a data pad from his pocket and throws it at you. On the screen seems to be a chemical breakdown of the substance the Imperials used to sabotage the mine. Your Ugnaught friend hops onto the turbo lift, waves goodbye, and then the turbo lift whisks him away. We get 80,000 credits, and Mayrina says, what a cute little Ugnaught. Oh my god. Stop! Good job keeping him safe and getting the information we need. The substance the Imperials use is vanadium extract. Head back to the refinery. You've done all the things already? Yeah, considering I'm stopping to literally read almost everything, I know I wasn't doing all of the give more information options in the dialogue. We have made pretty good progress, but we are certainly not halfway there. There is much left to this quest line still. So this is definitely going to take me a few sessions. So be prepared for that. But I hope you all enjoy it. It is, again, Legends original content, and it's definitely one of the more story-heavy ones that they've implemented. And I think it's a really good demonstration of what the development team's capable of. And I look forward to seeing what else they have in store in the future. City Update 2.0 released last week, and it's been really cool as a system. I haven't gotten to try the Mayor quest yet, but I think it's fixed now, so I might give that a shot soon. But we're back here, and now we have to collect hydrogen fluoride, which Mayrina says there's a strange locker in a room near the refinery 004. It should contain some vials of hydrogen fluoride. Grab a vial and inject some into the refinery systems using the injection terminal, which we actually passed by the locker, and I saw that locker earlier. Here it is. All right, we got it. All right, time. Everyone ready for the first puzzle? I know you all love puzzles, and you know I do. Shout out to the Meat Lump theme park. So as we click on this terminal, it says, in order to fix the refinery's ingredient balance, you'll need to inject exactly 4,000 units of vanadium extract. So we can select program the computer to inject the required amounts of vanadium extract. Unfortunately, the console seems to be malfunctioning thanks to the sabotage inflicted by a rogue droid. You'll need to use the secondary injection system, which consists of 2 interconnected containers. I say that's not good. The first container is the storage canister. The second is the injection canister. To inject the vanadium extract, you'll need to transfer the required 4,000 units to the injector canister. I say out loud, sounds simple enough. The storage canister has a capacity of 3,000 units. The injector canister has a capacity of 5,000 units. Should you desire to fill a canister, it must always be filled to its maximum capacity and cannot be filled partway. And then I say out loud, slightly less simple. At any point, vanadium extract can be transferred freely between the 2 canisters. Should you desire to start again, the canister contents will be emptied. And then I say, let's get started. Okay, so obviously this is a kind of puzzle where you need to balance the ratings, but you can't just do it. So again, we need to have 4,000 in here, but we have 2 pools that we can fill at a time and then transfer between them. Okay, when I did this with Griffin, I think I did it like instantly, or maybe it was the second one. This puzzle appears more than once. I don't want to jinx myself, so I'm just gonna do it. So let's start by, if you click display canister status, by the way, it just puts it in your chat log and brings up this spatial thing. Okay, I need 4,000. Fill? Injector canister? This isn't hard. I don't know why I'm making this hard. Oh, wait, yeah, no, this is fine. And then you transfer, and then you've done it. Because we transferred 1,000. There we go. That's it. You've done it. You've managed to transfer exactly 4,000 units of vanadium extract. Inject the vanadium extract into the refinery's piping. You inject the vanadium extract and immediately the pipes around you stop shuddering and shaking. Moments later, the refinery whirs back into life. I am a genius, I say out loud for some reason. Now that you've fixed the refineries, you should contact Marina to get along with the next stage of plant. Thanks, Injection Terminal, for telling me that. Calm Marina. The pipes continue to shudder as you step away from them, triumphant. Wow, they're really patting me on the back for this one. Marina says, "You've done the refineries to back up and running. Excellent work. We're on to the final stage of the repairs for that sector. The Imperial sabotage a nearby carbon freezing complex. Head on over and see what exactly they did." Okay. Luckily, we can get there by going this way. Yeah, so any game designers, whether you're doing a video game or a board game or any kind of other tabletop game, whatever, mind you, that's a good rule of thumb. If you think the puzzle's too easy, don't underestimate the player's inability to solve it. Easy puzzles are the best puzzles because they always end up being harder than you think for some players. But also, here's a crate of Death Trooper armor pieces. Like, that was a fairly easy puzzle, but obviously it took me a second to be like, wait, what am I doing? Let me check this room. I know we have to go in this room later, but yep, in this room there's a crate of prototype armor pieces. These containers, by the way, look like tiny caskets. Or like little Ugnaught caskets. I won't have you tell me otherwise. Alright, so we are in the carbon freezing chamber 192. Marina comes on and says, "I'm detecting strange temperature readings from the main platform. There should be a control terminal in there. Use it and see if you can adjust the temperature controls. If the internal temperature is too high for the process to Tabana, use the control valves located around the room to return the temperature to normal." So first, let's go access the carbon freezing chamber, which we have to do from the opposite side, I think. Yes, from the chamber control panel. Uh-oh, something's coming to attack us. I don't remember where it spawns. Shit. It spawned over there. This is the second boss. 270,000 HP, so it's got like 100k less than the Black Sun operative did. So keep that in mind as we fight it. It does hurt, but we already have it halfway down because it doesn't have all those buffs that the Black Sun operative did. You notice though, it's firing rocket launchers. So that's kind of scary, right? Ooh, this does hurt. I think we'll be okay. I probably should put some defensive power-ups on. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, okay, we're good. A little tight there. But we're fine. So that was the second boss down. Good job, everybody. Marina comes back and says, "Spirits preserve us." You managed to take that thing down. I can't believe it. Now the control panel. Now use the control panel again. So for that, I did switch to the Breath of Heaven food buff. I did not keep Akaragam on, so that definitely helped. That little bit of Constitution. And I also redo my Entertainer buff. Probably swap out that crit for that Constitution buff. Back at the control panel, though. Warning, temperature control critical. Now we have to go hit all of the valves. So let's do that. Here is the northern temperature control valve. It doesn't matter what order you hit them in, by the way. Oh yeah, by the northern one, you can see that there is a crate of patrol trooper armor pieces. So let's grab that while we're here. Ooh. Okay. One of the valves is hard to see. It's actually up around the outer ring. So I'm gonna run up this way while we head over to the other side to start accessing a few of the other valves. Like, I feel like 3 of the valves are really easy to find, and then there's like one of them that's like oddly difficult. Like, the southern and the western are right next to each other. It's just the eastern that's hard. I remember doing this with Griff. I remember the first time I did this, I had a hard time finding it. And then when I did this with Griffin Striker, he was like, where the fuck's the eastern one? And I had to be like, it's over here. There we go. You can always do /target eastern if you're having a hard time finding it, or any other valves. There it is. Yeah, see, it's weird, right? It says eastern, but it's on the west side of the facility, and so is, and you can't say, well, maybe the facility's like reversed. Maybe that is the east, and you're facing south right now. But no, the compass points north, and the western one's on this side. So I don't know why this one's called the eastern. Very nitpicky, I know. It's not really a big deal. It's just, I think the reason I got confused the first time I did this is because I was looking on the eastern side, and I was like, where's the eastern one? But it was over here. All right, but anyways, that's all of the things we need to do in the mining sector, apparently. We have to go back to Sergeant Kamar. Let's take the other door out of here, just because I don't think it's faster, but, you know, have us something else. Give us something else to look at. And maybe there'll be a collection item I stumble across. Even though I don't think there is one in this hallway, but... I think it's faster to go through the giant... Yeah, it is, because the turbo lift's on the west side of this chamber, so going through the tractor beam room is faster than running all the way back around. Here's a scenic shot. Wow. The Bespin textures are pretty. Legend staff made a lot of new textures and models for this place, and they do look very good. They do look a lot newer than other parts of the galaxy. So I do appreciate that. Very glossy, some of them. Back with Marina. Oh, wait, just kidding. I always do that. She does say, I keep thinking about the fact that the Imperials are here in Cloud City. I keep glancing over at the door, expecting them to storm here, blasters blazing. I pray it doesn't happen. Either way, back with Sergeant Kamar in the industrial sector. He says, you're back. Amazing work undoing all the Imperial sabotage. Marina told me all about what you did. I respond, thanks, Sergeant. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. What's next? Where do we go from here? The Sergeant says, I've been listening in on some of the Cloud City's communication channels. The upper levels, particularly the surface, is in chaos. Not only have rogue maintenance droids spread up there are reports of unidentified persons causing chaos for the city's civilians. And I respond, sounds like our Imperial friends, all right. The Sergeant responds, indeed. Administrator Calrissian's dispatched a group of his personal enforcers to help the Bespin Wing Guard try and restore order. The guards called Lando's Commandos. That does sound on brand for Lando. Quite a catchy name. If they're working to defend the city, we should help them. The Sergeant said, my thoughts exactly. The group is led by a Twi'lek named Tia Tikin. Head to the upper levels and track her down. Offer to help her group with whatever they need doing. Just remember, you need to keep your identity as a rebel a secret. If they ask who you are, just pretend to be a citizen of Cloud City looking to defend their home. I'm on it. The Sergeant also says, call Mayrena, or me if you need anything. And good luck. I get a feeling you're gonna need it up there. And for the that is the end of Rebel Story Act 1 for the Bespin content, which I forgot that's even a badge. Let's see if I can find it really fast here. Or I'll do the classic, oops, passed it. Oh, there it is, Bespin content. Yep, Rebel Act 1. So it looks like each side is divided up into 4 acts. So that'll give us a good indication of how far we've progressed. But as a reward for that, we received 2 items, and we received 100,000 credits. The first of the 2 items is a Bespin cryo chamber diorama, so a piece of furniture, and then a vehicle deed for a Cloud City pod car. So this does look like this. It doesn't look like a normal deed. So if you want, you could drop this in your house and use it as furniture, or you could generate it, and the vehicle would look like this, a cloud car. I like the description. A single pod from the twin pod cloud car, popularized by its use in the habitable zone of the gas giant Bespin, home of the beautiful Cloud City. The interior is made with rich Corellian leather. Wow. Luxurious. Either way, let's go back to the surface. All right, back to Cloud City proper. It says head to the surface, so actually has us go right out here. So let's do that. Boom. The sergeant says, Tiatin's a hard woman to track down. Contact Isolde Zero in the city's cantina. Maybe she'll be able to point you in Tiatikin's direction. Okay, so we gotta go to the Legends Club Cantina, which is on the east side of the city. What I recommend doing is actually just drive a little bit south here, and you'll actually be at the industrial starport. And if you use the Starship Terminal, you can just travel to the Cloud City starport. So let's just go there. All right, we're at the Legends Club Cantina, and we have to go inside and talk to Isolde Zero. So the Legends Club Cantina is actually a social hub of Bespin for players. So on the base floor, when we enter over on this side, the south side of the main floor, there's actually a Aurelian contact. There's also some Starship terminals here and a profession counselor, so a lot to do here. And if you use the elevator, you can actually select a lot of different floors. So we do need to go to the club canteen. Let's go to the arena level. This level is a cool area where some events have been held here, specifically the Beastmaster pet tournaments that they've held. A lot of seating, very cool space to be in. And then if we use the elevator terminal again, you can go to the Cloning and Med Center, which you could end up cloning here from anywhere on Bespin. And there is a K21B surgical droid here. And then if we head here, here's the Legends Club Cantina, which if you're an entertainer, you'll be very familiar with the space as the quest giver to earn ionized Sabana gas is right here, Laura. If you're trying to speak with her, she won't talk to you otherwise if you're not an entertainer. Ula's also hanging out here talking with some noble named Reese Basilisk. Maybe I should know that name. Can't quite remember. It's also a stage over there with Max Rebo playing. And some other quests might take you here. But for now, we just want to come over here and talk to Isolde Zero. She says, hey there, how's it going? Pull up a chair and grab a drink. The city may be falling apart, but you're safe in here. And I'll say, I'm not here to drink, I'm here to talk to you. Oh yeah, what about? And who are you for that matter? You better not be another credit shark come to collect. I don't think Lando would approve of me blasting someone and tossing them off the platform again. I say, no, I am not a credit shark, and so you can relax. Who I am isn't important. I just want to ask you if you could put me in touch with Tiatikin. You two are part of Lando's commandos, aren't you? They say, yeah, we are. Catchy name, right? But what's it to you? What do you want with Tiatikin? I want to talk to her. I want to help you guys out. Keep Cloud City safe. Isolate says, all right then, I'll start you off nice and easy. Some of the Wing Guard, the guys and gals who police Cloud City, have been hit hard by this whole mess. Someone waltzed into one of their speeder depots earlier and sabotaged all the speeders stored there. I want you to head there right away. Help the Wing Guards fight off the crazed droids that are hanging around, and then repair as many of the speeders as you can. And I say, I can do that. I'll head there right away. Isolde says, I'll be in touch on the comm link with more jobs after you're done with that. Get them all done, and I'll get you meeting with Tiatikin. All right, so we got to do some work to prove that we're actually here to help. Makes sense. So let's go head over to the Wing Guard Speeder Depot. As we arrive at the depot, I vomit, and we get a message saying a large number of rogue droids that are terrorizing the city are causing havoc at the speeder depot. Thin their numbers a bit and repair the Wing Guard's speeder bikes. And we accept, so let's go into the depot here, which takes us down a floor. And we can see that there are some larger rooms here. Let's start with the empty one, or it seems kind of empty, as there might be some speeders to interact with in there. I'll also take this opportunity to refresh some buffs. Yep, and as we saw, there is a Wing Guard speeder all the way over here at the end of the hangar, so let's click on that. I'm just admiring the little flashing light models. Alright, we entered into another chamber, which we can see a Wing Guard speeder hanging out here. Let's fix that. Even though there's a little explosion that comes with it, which looks more like we're destroying it. But before leaving this hangar, there's a crate of CCT protector armor. So let's grab that. And that'll be our first CCT protector armor parts. Let's keep going down here. There's 3 more hangars to check out. Let's check the one out with the red arrows in it. We haven't gotten to a fight yet. Actually, it doesn't even look like there's a speeder in here. Alright, we're not going to worry about it then. These are a level 85 with 32k HP, not the toughest thing we fought today. And it is the KX model from Rogue One. And it is called a Rogue Droid, haha. You can get this chassis as a reward crafted. That got added with Bespin 2, so if you like that droid and you want one for yourself, it is possible. Alright. This should be the last speeder. Cool. We do have to kill 2 rogue droids. I kind of just ignore that part of this quest. It's weird that there's only 4 in here, but I guess they were able to isolate them in here. Or maybe the Wing Guard actually have, you know, narratively done something, but let's take them out. Oh yeah, also, of note, not a big deal, but the Wing Guard has been added as a faction, so you can have negative standing with them. I've never had a problem with it, but then again, I don't go around defeating Wing Guard. A lot of them are actually flagged as rebels, so I can't. We've defeated our 2 Rogue Droid quota, though, and our Lando Commando contact hits us up and says, a couple of alarms were triggered over in the financial sector a while ago. Head on over there and find out what's going on. So let's head over to the financial sector. Alright, so here we are at the financial sector. As we get to the waypoint, we get a message that says, several of the walls and terminals nearby show signs of damage. The bank terminal specifically. Several terminals are missing their fund storage compartments, and there are small denomination credit sheets scattered everywhere. It would be best to repair the broken bank terminals. Hopefully none of the credits were stolen were yours. I have not put any credits here. Also, we got 110,000 credits, but let's interact with these Cloud City bank terminals. We gotta click on 4 of these suckers. Alright, contacted again by our Lando Commando associate. We're getting reports that indicate that both spaceports are under attack. See if you can help the Wing Guard hold off the crazy droids. Start with the cargo spaceport, which is a little bit north of us here. All right, arriving at the cargo starport of Cloud City, we get contacted saying, it seems like the wing guards have won this fight already. Head over to the industrial spaceports to see if they need your help there, which those are on the west side of the city. Let's just go use a starport terminal. There actually aren't any usable ones at the cargo spaceport, so let's just go back right over here to the Cloud City spaceport. And we'll travel right over to the industrial sector. Alright, as we arrive at the industrial sector spaceport, we are asked to help the Wingard fend off the attacking droids. The droids are... I think they're over this way. There's some black sun over there, but we're not really concerned with them right now. Maybe they're outside the starport. Oh, I know. They're back there. Okay, found them. Oh, by the way, here is a Wavian Death King armor pieces. Wow. Haven't collected that one yet either. Nearly that's 8 of 10. All right, so there are a lot of rogue droids back here, all level 85 with 31,000 health. I probably could pull a group of them, but, you know, let's not. Just, you know, let's be a little conservative here. All right, we've got 110,000 credits again, and we are contacted by our Orlando Commando Associate saying these droids just keep coming, but they're not the only threat. Some of the city's gangs are trying to make the most of this chaos and seize as much territory as they can. You're going to stop them. So first we have to go find a plaza that seems to be under gang threat. All right, so we found our way to the plaza, and we get a message saying these goons' colors identify them as members of the grimy goons. Not only are they criminals and lowlifes, they smell really bad too. Best to deal with them quickly before your nose falls off. Well, being a Bothan, my scent is probably pretty good with all the surface area that my snout provides, so, you know. I don't know why, like, a gang would have one of their tenets be, let's just be filthy or smelly. Why did he shoot my familiar? Pretty sure he just tried to shoot my familiar. Weird. Okay, we'll need 4 more. I'm just gonna... You all don't mind, right? If I just, you know, do my thing. Cool. We're contacting them saying something just came up that I need you to investigate. One of our network junctions was breached. Coordinates set. Head there and check it out. We gotta go all the way down to the southwest corner of the platform. We're gonna be doing a lot of this driving around Bespin now that we're out of the confines of the industrial mining sectors, so prepare to admire the skyline. Frequently. Alright, so here we are at the next network junction terminal. We have to examine the terminal. I think once we examine it, we get jumped by these... I don't know. I pissed something off. Come on. I don't really want to pull all of them at the same time. I think once I click that, they're going to jump me. I have a vague memory of getting jumped. I don't know, I'll just do it anyways. Oh no, I can't combat interrupt. That's the problem. Okay, well, already pissed them all off, so here we go. Yay, I have enough AoE where I could just kind of force my way through that one. Well, if I get jumped, I'm not too worried now. We get a message that says, at first glance, the network junction does not appear damaged or compromised in any way. However, with a close look, you find a scrambler module. Judging by where it's positioned, the module is scrambling large portions of Cloud City's security protocols and should be removed. You pluck the device free and crush it beneath your boot. Edgy. We probably should have kept that as evidence for the investigation, but whatever. We just destroy evidence, it's fine. Either way, we're contacted again I'm gonna take. We have to go over here to the northeast. I'm gonna take the star. I'm gonna starport across. I'm not. Oh, actually, this is a good point. So we're actually down here in the southwest corner. If you use the points of interest, you'll see that we're west of the Tabana Prime Trader Guild Hall. Right here, if we open the overhead map, we can see apartment blocks, merchant quarters, and market row. These are apartments players can actually own, and they can live in these tall structures. But the important part is in between them is this landing pad where you can take out your travel vehicles, because you can't take out your travel vehicle anywhere in Bespin. It's only on designated landing pads. Some are obvious like that. Some are less obvious. But there we go. See, now we're on the other side. And I don't have to go back to the starport to fly. But let's keep going. All right, so we're at the first location to find the first missing data pad, which should be around here. I believe it's on this bench over here. Oh, it's on the floor next to this bench. Which, no, it doesn't put anything in our inventory. But now I have to find this second missing data pad, which is just a little south of us, luckily. All right, so at the second location, like the other one, it is on the ground next to a bench. Now we gotta find the last one, which is in the northeast corner of the map, it looks like. So let's head back up that way. All right, and the data pad is actually very close to the waypoint we were given. Our contact reaches out to us and says, nice work finding those data pads. Take the scrambler module you picked off the network junction to the security center. Tell the technicians there that I've sent you and that I want that module analyzed, which is on the southeast portion of the map. So let's drive all the way down there. While we're driving there, this is a good time to mention. Luckily, we've been stuck to the sides of the map. But you'll notice that driving across some parts of Bespin can be challenging because of these structures, holes in the platform, and etc. If you ever have a hard time navigating Bespin, open your world map and follow the roads that are drawn on the world map. That'll help you with navigating a lot. So far, it's been pretty easy getting from point A to point B, but getting to like the center parts of the city or driving across the city, if you choose to do that, can get a little difficult because there are some larger structures that might obscure your path. So, like for example, our objective's over there. I could have gone down the east side from the starport and got there, but now I'm like, oh, I have to get over there, but there's big holes here. I have to go take a short. I have to either go across the Legends Cantina or I can use the short bridge here, which works. Let's see if am I gonna get stuck on this. Nope. Okay, cool. We'll just clip through that bridge. No big deal. Here we're at the Wingard Security Center, and we need to go talk to a technician. Seems to be on the north end. I think they're on the top floor here. Yep, there they are. Isolde sent you? I see. I'll get to work analyzing this module right away. If I learn anything of importance, I'll make sure to inform you and Isolde right away. Yes, here's the module. Okay, great. I'll see what I can do. Goodbye. We get a message that says, now that you've delivered the module for analysis as Isolde requested, you should return to the canteen and speak with her. Okay. Luckily, we're not too far, but in this room, you'll see that there is a CCT protector armor again. So let's pick that up. And that's 1 of 10. Wow, that's the first one, but a second we found. I just got gaslit. This looked like a road or pass. I thought there was going to be like a ramp here, but no. Is this one of the pads I can use an ITV on, by the way? Yeah, so if you see these circle pads anywhere across Bespin, these are ones you can call ITVs on, but see if you step off this landing pad, you can't call for pickup. I didn't mean to use that. So that's what they look like. They can be hard to spot sometimes. All right, back with Lano's Commando. Good work out there. If you hand over those data pads you collected, I'll make sure they're delivered to the proper people. So I hand them over and say, so I fulfilled my end of the bargain. I did all the jobs you had for me. Can you arrange a meeting with Tiatikin? She says, yeah, sure. I'll get in touch with her and set it up. In brackets, it says, Isolide pulls out her comlink and clicks it on. She says, Tiatikin, come in. There's only silence. Tiatikin, are you there? Can you read me? And then I say, I have a bad feeling about this. That's where we're looking at the camera. In brackets, it says, Isolode frowns. Clearly, something is indeed wrong. She says, Tiatikin, acknowledge. Please, can you read me? In brackets, it says, Tiatikin does not respond. Isolode tries to raise her on several different frequencies, but to no avail. Isolode puts away her comlink, and Isolode says, so, Tiatikin is missing. And I say, well, that's not good, to say the least. Any idea what happened to her? Isolde says, no, but whatever happened, it's bad, really bad. Tiatikin is a highly trained soldier. There's a reason she's the one in charge of Lando's commandos. If she's not responding, she's in danger. That I know for certain. You have to find her and rescue her. And I'll respond, I'll do it. Isolde says, last time I heard from Tiatikin, she was on the lower levels investigating reports that the Guavian Death Gang was trying to set up operations down there. Naturally, that's a bad thing. Sure, Cloud City has its share of criminals, but the Guavian Death Gang is another caliber of scum entirely. Be extremely careful if you encounter them. They're deadly. I say, I figured as much. They wouldn't be called the Guavian Death Gang if they weren't deadly. Isolde says, you're hilarious. Get going. I'll stay in touch via comlink. Good luck. And we get 120,000 credits. So as you see, the credit rewards have been ramping up ever since we started, which is starting at 15k, and now we're up to 120k. So you can imagine how we start getting like millions from completing these quests. I think by the end we're getting like 200 or 300 for completing some quests. 200 or 300,000 credits. But now we get to head over to the underground cantina. So when you arrive to the waypoint given to you, head inside. There's another turbo lift in here. And you're going to take the elevator down. And you're going to head out this elevator and go right. You can go left, but you're going to just hit a dead end. And we're going to head all the way down into this tram. And we're going to click elevator to underground cantina. And it's going to take a second. A couple seconds. And now we've arrived. Isolde contacts us and says, Tiatikin's last known location is a short distance from where you are now. Head there and see if you can find a clue as to what happened to her. And we have a message that says, examine the area and see if you can find anything that might provide information on what happened to Tiatikin. I say, okay. So we have to go find clues inside the underground cantina, which here we are. This is a cool area to come hang out in. Also, if you're doing the Underworld Prestige missions that were added with Smuggler Spice, you'd be coming in here regularly to visit the Smuggler Contact to deliver some stuff. Also, if you talk to Max Nagu, that is how you get into the HoloNet arena where you can do solo, duos, or with a group of 4 as a wave-based challenge mode of you all versing spawning NPCs. We're not going to be doing that today. Lastly, our area over here, she trades unrefined and refined Tabana gas for certain rewards. A lot of them are furniture, but they're really cool, Bespin themed. Or schematics with some of the armor we've seen, like the Guavian Death King armor, the CC2 armor, K2 droids that are themed to neutral, Imperial, and Rebel, respectively. The Cloud Car, and Twin Pod Cloud Car, which works like the AT-AT heads, where you can store locations to travel to. However, it is no trade shared, unlike the AT-AT heads that are tradable. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool fun rewards on this one. It's also a banking terminal, which I forget that's here. Either way, we have to look for clues, so let's start doing that. Let's start over here. We see a drop data pad. That's definitely probably a clue. Yep. And then we have a broken blaster. That seems suspicious. What kind of blaster is that? Oh. Republic blaster. Let's keep looking around. Oh, we got Panoramic Vista, Bespin 10. That's a collection. You had to go around certain locations. It didn't show until we get back here, though, but So be it. Any clues over here? How about over here? There is a Camp Tono, aka everyone's favorite ice cream maker. I like the description. A Cantomo is to carry valuable content. Talk to the bartender. Tell me about current events. They just say, I saw a block of armor parts while visiting Cloud City the other day. I think someone has misplaced their armor sets. Maybe you can find and collect them all. So that's just like a hint. Got anything to say? Nope. I think all the clues are in here. There might be some clues out in the hallway. I'll check that. Let's check the hall, I guess. There's a puddle of blood here, but apparently that doesn't interest me. And there's this puddle of blood. About the bloodstained vibroblade. Yeah, that does. How about a torn piece of... Everyone ignore the injured thug there. We're not interested in him, apparently. We are interested in this pool of blood, though. Our commando says, looks gruesome down there. Clearly there was a fight. I just hope Tiatikin survived. Hey, look, there's another pool of blood over there. It heads off away from the cantina. Even though we're having to interact with the pool of blood on the way to the cantina, I think this would ended up backwards. Now we have to talk to the injured thug who's over here. In brackets, it says, the thug appears very badly injured. They are hunched over and clutching his side, which is leaking blood. I mean, it's more of a prone position than a hunched, but whatever. Their eyes are glazed and fluttering about. They are clearly struggling to remain conscious, and they say, please, cough, cough, help me. Who are you? How are you injured? The thug winces in pain. Please, cough, cough, I need a med pack, or else I won't cough, cough, make it. Please help. With each breath, they sputter and wheeze. I will help you. If I help you, will you answer my questions? Cough, cough. Yes, I'll tell you whatever. Cough, cough. Whatever you want to know. Just help me. Lie. I have to say, all right, I'll help you. Oh, thank you. I had a bed pack on me. Cough, cough. I lost it during the fight. If you can find it, replace any equipment that was damaged. Cough, cough. You can patch me up. Then I'll be back with a med pack. Hurry, I don't think I'll last much longer. Cough, cough. The med pack is back in the elevator, quote unquote, we used to get here. So let's go ahead and grab that. I say elevator in quotes because it seems more like a tram than an elevator. We get a message saying you pick up the med pack and examine its contents. Several pieces of equipment are either damaged or missing, including a hydro spray, a subdermal splint, and anti-clotting agents. They will need to be replaced. Return to the surface and head to the medical center to do so. Okay. Got 130,000 credits. Let's go to the medical center. I remember doing this on my medic and wondering why I just couldn't heal him, considering I'm a medic. If you can, I didn't find the option to. But either way, if you do want to heal him, you gotta go to the med center, which is on the north side of the city. I think this is also the hospital. So the hospital is a place you can clone to. I usually just clone to the Legends Cantina. That's the most convenient place to clone to. Should you need a clone while you're on Bespin. So we must speak with the doctor, who I believe is up a floor. Yep, here's a doctor. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. I'm in need of some medical supplies to patch up a critically injured patient. Have anyone ever just walked into a hospital and immediately got to start talking to a doctor? No? Yeah, I don't think so. Either way, the doctor says, I see. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to give you. Most of our supplies were stolen a short while ago, and what little supplies we have left are needed here. Can the patient be brought here for treatment? No, he's too badly injured. Moving it would probably kill him. The doctor says, I see. In that case, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go back to my patients. Not a great doctor, but all right. Hold on, doctor. Before you go, what can you tell me about the people who stole your supplies? Very little, I'm afraid. I'm a doctor, not an investigator. Is that like a Star Trek reference? Whatever. We have no idea who they are or how they managed to sneak past the security and into our supply cache. However, once inside, they triggered an alarm and fled. They were last seen fleeing towards one of the nearby apartment buildings. Then I'll respond. I'll see if I can track them down and recover the supplies. If you do manage to recover our supplies and bring them to me, I'll see to it that you'll have whatever equipment you need for your patient. Deal. I'll be back shortly. Good luck. I accept no medical responsibility for any injuries you incurred. Great. I'm glad you were worried about the legal stuff. I do like how this place is decorated, though. I like all the different, like, injector colors lined up. This, like, safe-looking thing. Some, Rebel med packs from Hoth down there. They did some good set dressing. Nice use of display cabinet. Either way, let's go to the nearby apartment complex. Nearby hospital, my ass. That's on the west side of the city, dude. There might be a travel platform around here, but I don't know where, so I guess we're gonna drive. Oh, wait. Maybe this works? Sick. Alright, we have arrived at the apartment complex. It says recover medical supplies. I think you might have to go into both buildings, but I have a vague memory of doing the first north one first. I don't know why a thief is down here. I don't think they're supposed to spawn on the first floor. Oh, wow. You got a far aggro range. I was like, let me buff up. But that guy's like, hell no, I'm gonna get you now. Alright, let's go upstairs using one of the central elevators. Here we are. Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody. Alright, we can go back to the doctor, but before we do, there is a Guavian Death Gang armor piece here. Wow. Whichever central elevator you take, doesn't matter. It brings you up to the same floor. For example, if I go over here. Click that to go down. Oh, look, I'm missing the other one. Wow. For the fans, we'll go into the southern apartment complex. There are Stargazer thugs in here. Hey, guys. Oh, you can actually walk across from the outside. Didn't even think about that. Oh, wait, I want that rug, dude. Forgot. This is one of the item collections you can get, and I think all these are in Bespin City proper, usually up in the apartment building somewhere. But if you pick like that up, you start another collection called Bespin Rug Style. There's 14 of them. Rare Bespin rugs. So we got one of those rugs. Cool. Alright, let's head back to the doctor on the north side of the city. Unfortunately, can't really quick travel up over there. Might be like a little bit. Nah, we'll just drive back. It's fine. Here we go. This is a really good example of like following the road. So I can't get up to that road from here. I'd have to take this and go up all the way around. So I'm just gonna actually go this way and just go straight up and around the outside. Around the outside. All right, here we are back at the medical center / hospital. Let's go inside, speak with the doctor. The doctor says, have you recovered the medical supplies? I say, yes, I have. I have them right here. They say, excellent, remarkable work. You have my thanks. Here's the equipment you require. Now, if you excuse me, I have to distribute the rest of these supplies to the medical staff. Good health to you. All right, we're back in the underground cantina with the injured thug. Let's speak to them. I like how their body twists when we talk to them. I'm going to do it again because I think it's really funny. Swip. Either way, the thug says, you got everything you need. All the supplies. Good. Cough, cough. Now just patch me up and I'll tell you everything. All right, I'm kind of brutal, so I'll say no. You'll tell me what I need now, and then I'll help you. No, please. I won't make it unless cough, cough, you pass me much. Where would your men take Tia Takin if they caught her? to one of our safe houses. We have a handful throughout cough cough the city. Coordinates on this data card. They weekly hand you a data card. That's all I know. Now please help me. All right. The boss doesn't tolerate failure. If I show my face, I'm a dead man. And besides, I don't want anything to do with the Stargazers anymore. After this whole near-death experience, I think I'm going to reevaluate my life and try to make a fresh start. And then I say, all right, then I'll trust you. Don't make me regret it. Winky face. Get 130k, and they say, I won't. Good luck finding Teotihuacan, and thanks again for helping me. I'm going to stay here a while longer and recover some more strength before I fighting right off world. I guess I'll see you around. No, you won't. I will never see you ever again. Except for every time I pass you to go to the Holland Arena. Then you'll see me. Alright, back on the surface of Cloud City, we get a message that says the first of the Stargazer safe houses is located in one of the city's apartments blocks. Head there and see if Teotihuacan is being held there. Wow, it's the same apartment block we were just in. Holy moly. It's probably faster to there's a landing pad over here. It's the one I use like when I want to get away from the underground arena fast. I think it's over here. Yeah, there it is. I wish these landing pads had signs or something. So when Bespin originally came out, you weren't able to call your ITV anywhere, but then they changed it so these designated landing pads are spaces where you can call your ITV, which is good. I'm glad they did that. I just wish that they were labeled. Like maybe they just stuck a little sign near them or something, or like a texture on the ground. Because of their color, they sort of blend in with the rest of Bespin. So unless you're actively looking for them and know what you're looking for, it could be really easy to pass them. Alright, so we're back at the apartment building. We need to go to the southern one, like I did earlier, to pick up that super sweet rug. You hear movement from inside the safe house and a very faint conversation. A group of stargazers is clearing inside, deal with them, and then search for Teotihuacan. I don't know how I overheard that conversation from the first floor outside when they're all up here. By the way, I must have killer hearing. I do have big Bothan ears, so maybe that's it. Alright, we defeated the Stargazers. We have to access their computer now. Here it is, right next to this very fine rug. It's so fine, our feet are sinking into it. After accessing the terminal, though, it says, with this terminal unlocked, you're able to log onto this computer and get a look at the Stargazers files. You find a comlink transcript that was logged only 4 hours ago that indicates that they have a safe house in the Trust Tower. Head to Trust Casino in the upper levels right away. Alright, so this is going to start beginning the series of quests where we're going to head to the more central part of Bespin. As we open our map, it's right in the middle. There's no real fast way to get there. You could buy a shuttle ticket at the starport or use one of the landing pads with your instant travel vehicle to go to the southern shuttle port down here. But it's not really that much closer than the starports. So I'm just going to drive there. Also, the communique that we had earlier from Isola Day before accessing that terminal says, doesn't look like the Teotihuacan is in here, but we might be able to use the Stargazer's computer terminals to find a clue as to which of the 24 safe houses she's being held. See if you can find anything in their files. Alright, here we are at the entrance to Trust Casino. We get a message that says the Stargazer's logs indicated that the safe house inside the casino was located in one of the back rooms. Head there and learn what you can from the Stargazers within without getting jumped by Slenderman. Just that last part's not there, obviously. Whoa, another player. Alright, so we got 140,000 credits from accepting that one. We have to find the Stargazer safe house. If we go up one floor, we come to this area, which, if you use the overhead map, you can kind of see nothing much is going on in here. We don't really need to be in here right now. So let's go up again. Wow, not much going on in here either. Can we go up again from here? Yes. Oh, wow, there's a lot of people up here. What are y'all doing? You're doing this quest together? Anyway, we have to attack the Stargazer's lieutenant. Here is the lieutenant. They give up about getting you halfway to defeat. We're still stuck in combat, though. Because that was pretty fast. Slash, I hit a Stargazer thug who's in the opposite room. Once you get them to half health, though, the lieutenant stops fighting. Who the fuck? I am like a million miles away from you. Please leave. Okay. Lieutenant does say, though, all right, I give up, I give up, no more. Speaking to them, say, you're here about the tailhead Teotihuacan, right? I think that's a xenophobic slur, but anyways. Yes, how did you know? We knew that someone would come looking for Teotihuacan when we grabbed her. And some of our guys saw you running around the city after talking to the Isoleti chick in the cantina. We assumed you were working for her. I say, well, you assumed correctly. So how about you tell me what I want to know, and I'll think about letting you go. The lieutenant says, yeah, all right. Keep your pants on. I am actually wearing pants, so good job. What do you want to know? I say, I already know that you turned Teotihuacan over to your boss. What I don't know is why you handed her over where your boss is holding her captive, which I can't respond while fighting because I guess he just thinks he could tank me now, so that's clearly not true. The next line he says is, the boss told us to bring Teotihuacan here. He's got a room and we snuck her in the back way. He's probably still got her held prisoner, then I'm gonna go rescue her. Not a chance. You see, I raised the alarm when you arrived. I just had to stall you until my men got here. In bracket says you hear footsteps from behind you. And now that they're here, we'll kill you and dump your body in the street. Well, now that's just rude, I say. Get 'em. And we get jumped by a bunch of stargazers who don't immediately attack me. And they all die. And while we read this comm, I'm going to collect this Guavian Death King armor sitting here. The Isolated comes over the comm and says, I found the room that the Stargazer's boss is staying in, but in order to get inside, you'll have to deactivate the room's security systems. If you head down to the service corridors, you can cut the cables that control it. This room's also well decorated. We got a cool, like, mobile up there. Got a Kima hanging out here on a little pillow. I think this is a rug we can click. Stop. Wait a minute. Click it. Okay, let's go head down to the service room, which I guess is over this way. I didn't go to the droids. Maybe they won't. Maybe they will. Come on in here if you want to fight me. Oh, they died. All right, so let's deactivate the room by, I guess, pulling on the exposed cabling. And then we've got that. We get a message that says, now that you've disabled the security protocols for the Stargazer's boss room, head there and rescue Teotihuacan. Alright, so here is the Stargazer. Sweet. Some rogue droids want to fight us. We gotta kill some thugs. I'm just gonna go for broke. Hi, everybody. Here, just enter someone's apartment building and call in an airstrike. All right, let's speak with Teotihuacan, who's sitting here. I already told you your boss. I'm not talking. No matter how many times you beat me or rough me up, so you might as well. I just killed everybody in the room. I say, easy, Teotihuacan. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, I do want to talk to you, but I'm not one of the Stargazers. I'm here to rescue you. Isolate sent me. Oh, well, I am glad to hear that. Sorry for snapping. I'm a bit on edge, as you can imagine. I understand. Let's get out of here. Absolutely. I can't wait to get back to the canteen and order a nice. Teotihuacan's eyes go wide as she glances behind you. Oh, no, it's him, the Stargazer boss. Watch out. Wow, where is he? He's in the other room. How did you see him approaching behind me? He's got 128,000 HP, weaker than the cryo droid we fought earlier. So let's just disable him really fast. You've been playing a lot of Tarkov recently. How's Legends? Well, they just got the City 2.0 update, so if you haven't logged in to check out your city, you might want to do that. I know your city on, you got a city on lock, which I remember is pretty high rank, so you should have city expertise, which is the new city specialization system. Wow, this guy hurts. I took him too lightly. That's fine. We still got him. That wasn't close. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, going back to Teotihuacan, which the thugs are already respawning, so they're probably going to interrupt me. I know these have to respawn quickly because they're quest objectives, but also kind of annoying when you want to actually sit and read. Deacon says, well, good riddance to bad filth. Bad news. God damn it. I can't progress the conversation when they attack me. That's why I'm stopping to kill them. Well, good riddance to bad news. Filth. She spits on the Stargazer's boss's corpse. Wow, you got a good distance on you, girl. Sorry I wasn't able to help out. I'm a little roughed up for my stay here. Can't say I enjoyed my time at the Yarth Bespin. God, son of a bitch. I knew that was gonna happen. Ooh. Stop. Get out. I'm trying to have a conversation with your held captive. Okay. Maybe I'll file a complaint with the hotel manager. There will be time for witty banter later. Yeah, seriously, they keep respawning. For now, let's get out of here. Agreed. Now that you've dealt with the Stargazers here in the suite, I think I'll be able to handle myself. Just need a few minutes to catch my breath. You go on ahead. I'll get in touch with Isolate after I'm safely back at the base and I've patched up my wounds. Then we can talk properly. Sounds good. I'll see you there. Stay safe. You too. See you soon. Cool. Back to the cantina. All right, back at that cantina with Isolate. She says, hey there, good to see you. Let me buy you a drink. Consider a reward. Thanks for listening to you again. I say, sure, I'll take a drink. What it will be? I've been drinking it all day. I don't want another pint of Acaragum. Calamari Zinfar on the rocks. Coming right up. Isolate orders you your drink, and it's quickly delivered. You did good, kid. Real good. Thank you for rescuing Tiatikin. You're implying again that I am younger than you? But whatever. I take it she told you everything that happened. Yep, she gave me a full report upon getting back to base. The doctors have checked her out and patcher her. The doctors have checked her out and patched her he up, and the 21B droid administered a backed drip. She'll be right as rain eventually. She really should stay off her feet until she's fully recovered. But with everything going on, we need all the hands on deck, so she's helping out however she can. I say, I'm glad that she's going to be okay. Can I speak with her? Isolate said, sure, I don't see why not. You've proven that you're trustworthy. Tiatikin's stationed on the Wing Guard Security Center while she recovers. You'll find her in her office there. Here's a key card that'll let you into the building. And she hands us the key card, and we say, thanks, I'll go speak with her now. Isolate said, thanks again for everything you've done. You've been a big help. I'll see you around. Something tells me we'll be seeing each other again soon. I don't think we do. The sergeant contacts Zoe and see Kamar here. Great work on finding Tiat again, but I'll need to speak with you before you speak with her. Come back and we'll talk. Okay, let's go down to the ground level so we can access the starship terminals and go back to the industrial sector. One thing that I'll note about a lot of the NPCs you'll find on Bespin, especially the ones up here on the surface, you've noticed I have not had to do anything to my inventory. They don't have much on their loot tables. Just something to keep in mind. Luckily, questing here gives you a lot of credits for the quests that you do, but otherwise it's not really worth it to come here and, like, you know, just kill NPCs. The Assault Minox, or the Sulfur Minox you fight down in the industrial sector do drop ISOs, so there's that at least. And some of the NPCs down there were dropping things like housing collection progression, but yeah, the NPCs on the surface don't really give you much of anything. They do be dropping credits at least, though, so there's that. All right, we're back with Cedric Kamar, but I want to ask Marina if she has anything else to say. Nope. The sergeant says it's good to see you again. I say same to you, Kamar. What did you need to talk to me about? We probably can trust Tiatikin. Administrator Calrissian wouldn't have put her in charge of Lando's commandos if she wasn't trustworthy. But if we tell Tiatikin about the Empire, she'll be obligated to tell the Wing Guard, and we can't be certain the Empire doesn't have someone in their guard helping them with their operation. I respond, you think one of the Wing Guard could be a traitor? The sergeant says it's possible the Wing Guards aren't stormtroopers who have undergone brainwashing or indoctrination to inspire loyalty to their cause. They're normal men and women, and any man or woman could be turned traitor given the right circumstances. I respond, all right, so we don't tell anyone about the Imperials, except Calrissian. The sergeant says, I know that this will make your work a lot harder. I'm sorry about that, but we can't risk the Empire learning about that we know they're here. I respond, it's all right. I'm no stranger to hard work. The sergeant says, no doubt. That's all I had to discuss. You'd best meet up with Teotihuacan and keep working to keep the city safe. Good luck out there. We'll be here if you need anything. And I say, thanks, Kamar. I'll be in touch. May the force be with you, the sergeant says. Let's go to the Wing Guard Security Center. This is also one of the many return trips we're going to have to make on Bespin back down to the rebels in that hangar. Personally, if you're playing by yourself, I think it's fine. When you're doing this with a friend or in a group, though, having to come all the way back out here, go down the lift, run back over, it can get a little bit tiring, the number of times you have to return here. I might be misremembering how many times we have to come back here. So far today, a lot of the questing has been done in that area, so it hasn't been too bad. We're not quite done with Act 2, but if Act 3 and 4 have us returning there with high frequency, I might have a little bit different opinion. I just remember the last time I did this Griffin Striker, we were getting a little bit tired having to go back there. We did make it pretty far in the quest chain. I think we were actually almost done with it. We just haven't returned to finish it. Alright, so we're here at the Wing Guard Security Center. We have to go find Teotihuacan and talk to her, which I think she's just down this way. Yep, here she is. She says, my valiant rescuer returns. It's good to see you. Thanks again for rescuing me. I owe you. And I say, no problem. When you freed me from the Stargazers, you said you wanted to talk to me about something. Well, let's talk. What's on your mind? I say, you're the leader of Lando's commandos, yeah? Well, I want to help you and the commandos get things under control. Teotihuacan says, just in the right moment, someone enacted isolation protocol at the Wing Guard headquarters. That being said, a power surge might just be enough to disrupt control of the blast doors long enough for you to slip inside the building. I say, all right, where do we start? I have absolutely no idea. I'm not an engineer. The only reason I know this stuff about the isolation protocol and HQ systems is because Lando made all of us commandos sit through a very long and very boring briefing about Cloud City when he hired us as a couple of years back. And I may be a little drunk on Corelliano during said induction. Luckily for you, I know a trustworthy engineer who might be able to help. I'll speak with her. Hopefully she'll have an idea as to how to make this plan a reality. I'll stay in touch via comlink and help out wherever I can. Good luck. And for this one, we get the Rebel Prototype Armor, Left Bracer, Right Bracer, and Gloves. And we also were given 150,000 credits. And we got to go speak with Marina back in the industrial sector. Like I said, we're going to be making a lot of return trips to the industrial sector. So let's head back that way. I think when I said you're going to have to make a lot of return trips and Griffin and I got tired of it, I think this was it. Like, there'd be instances where we were just literally there. And now we have to go back again. I don't mind returning every once in a while, especially at like major story beats when going and having a conversation makes sense, or you want to have the option to get more information through those give option dialogue branches. But like when you go there, say, okay, go talk to her, you go talk to her, and now I have to go back. I get story beat wise, it makes sense based on how they wrote it, but gameplay wise, meh, not my favorite thing. Running through here's like door ASMR with all the number of doors that are opening and closing. Especially if you're like doing a speed increase like power assisted sprint or like force run, you're just gonna be hearing those doors opening and closing very quickly. We're back here with Marina though. She says, hello again, what brings you back to base? And I explain the situation. She says, my word, that is certainly a tricky situation. In brackets, it says Marina thinks of some time. Marina then says, in order to carry out Miss Tietikin's plan to initiate a power surge, we need a number of things. And I ask, what do we need? Marina says, firstly, we need a schematic of the city's power electrical infrastructure. Cloud City has countless hundreds of power generators, and we need the city's schematics in order to determine exactly which ones normally power the headquarters building. I say that makes sense. What else do we need? Marina then says, secondly, we need a military-grade electrical transducer. Only electrical transducer of that caliber is capable of generating a pulse of required intensity. Unfortunately, these transducers are quite rare, and it will be difficult to acquire one. I say, I'm sure I'll be able to manage. Do we need anything else? Marina says, yes, one last thing, a configurable remote detonator. When the electrical pulse is triggered, the resulting disruption to the headquarters building systems will no longer than 20 seconds. I think a word is missing there. That simply is not enough time for you to reach headquarters from the power generator. Because of this, the pulse will need to be triggered remotely, and we require a remote detonator to do so. I say, all right, let's tackle the things we need in order, starting with the city schematics. Any idea where we can find a set? Marina says, unfortunately not. Perhaps Miss Tietikin knows. I would speak with her if I were you. I say, good idea. I'll calm her and see what she knows. Marina then says, while you are searching for a set of schematics, I will see if I can track down an electrical transducer and a remote detonator. I will contact you via comlink should I find anything. Good luck. Over the comm, Tietikin says, maybe try speaking with some of the Ugnaughts. They handle the majority of the city's maintenance. I think there's a group of them holed up in the mining sector. So let's go over to the mining sector. I know my buffs are running out, but I think I'll be okay. Alright, we're in the mining sector. We have to find an Ugnaught named Gentrin Dat, who we might have seen while running around doing quests in here earlier. It looks like he's... Oh yeah, he's the one over by the Tabana chamber. Yeah. I was like, what's it called again? The Tabana cryo chamber. So let's run all the way over there. Yeah, I think the Bespin quests, I don't know how Imperial goes, but I'm sure it's similar to Rebel, are done in shorter sessions. As by the end of the session, I will admit, I am starting to get a little fatigued with all of the running down extremely long hallways. Man, I can't believe I did this for like 8 hours straight. I think it was 8 hours on my medic. Who has no, again, medics have no movement speed increase ability to their name. So that was just at the mercy of speed bonuses. But here we are with Gantrin Dat. Big stranger approaches. Hello, hello. Welcomes. Gantrin Dat, welcome you to safe place. You safe here. Take cover from craziness. I say, thank you, Gantrin Dat. You're very kind. Gantrin says, other Ugnaughts see you move through city. See you help people, help fix things. They tell Gantrin. Gantrin, happy to help you help things. I say, that's good to hear because I actually do need your help. I need a set of schematics detailing the city's electrical grid. Gantrin says, and you come to Gantrin because Ugnaughts have schematics to fix bad things. Gantrin understand. Gantrin want to help, but Gantrin has bad speakings to share. Bad news is. What's wrong? Gantrin and other Ugnaughts make repairs when craziness started. We're using schematics to see where to place parts, make all good again. Droids helping make repairs go mad. They attack Gantrin and friends. Hurt bad. Gantrin and friends drop schematics when running away. So I say, so the droids that attacked you have your schematics. Gantrin says, yes. Droids are having them. 4 parts to schematic. If goes to where droids attack Gantrin and friends and smash droids and get parts, Gantrin combine parts into big schematic and give you copy. Where were you when the droids attacked, I ask. Gantrin and friends were in teams, making repairs to control room, smelter room, tractor beam generators, and refinery. 1 team at each place, 1 schematic in each team. You are to go to each place and get schematic from droids there. Says it looks like I'm off to hunt down some droids. Make sure you are being safe. Scantrons does not want a big stranger to end up hurted. Okay, we gotta go to all the areas and check all the droids. Let's just go clockwise, I guess. I know, again, I am my med buffs ran out, but I think we can do this part without them. I think we'll be okay. I forget. Are the droids in here? No, these are not workers. Oh wait, there's a patrol of trooper armor in here though, so let's grab that. Some wild sound effects in this room. What's up with this cloud car? Does not interest me. Maybe if you're Imperial, you sabotage that or something. I think we just have to bust droids, right? Electrical infrastructure schematics from destroying droids in the mining sector. Okay. Yeah, get him, Ugnaughts. Straight up, didn't know the Ugnaughts would help you on that one. That's funny, though. Oh, you know what? Maybe they got hit by the Minox wind buff. That makes sense. I guess any droids work. I thought I had to go to each area, but I got nothing found off that droid, so maybe I can just keep killing droids in here and not have to run all over the place. I know I still have a Minoc on me, by the way, but, like, it just doesn't want to, like, show up in front of me, so I'm just going to keep ignoring it. This is probably bad since I have no med buffs, but, you know, whatever, man. Speed. Sorry, Ugnaught. Okay, cool. Still getting attacked by, I think, that Minoc. Can I see it from here? Cool. We can get contact by our new Ugnaught friend, and he says, you have schematic pieces. Now engineering datapad. Only datapad that good has storage chips big enough to store a file as big as a schematic. I dropped mine outside big carbon freezing chambers. See if you find it. All right, we gotta go back up to the carbon freezing chamber, which luckily we didn't go too far from. I'm glad that this previous quest objective didn't have us actually having to run around the entire mining sector. We just had to go destroy some more of those saboteur droids. So, yeah, that's not too bad, considering there wasn't a room of them far away. I also don't know why he needs us finding a datapad that's, like, where he's standing, but whatever. Here's the engineering datapad on the floor. Grab that. Go to Gantrin, who says, you have the schematics and datapad. Much great. Please be giving them to me, and I will put schematic back together and give copy to you. And so I do that. In brackets, it says Gantrin takes the pieces of the schematic and, one by one, loads them onto the datapad. He spends several minutes pressing buttons and configuring options before smiling in triumph. Gantrin says, here you be, schematic is all back together, and here is copy for you. Do you be needing anything else from Gantrin and friends? I say, not at the moment, Gantrin, but thank you for your help. You're welcomes. Ugnaughts know you have been helping people, so we happy to help you until we see you again. And I get 160,000 credits. Marina comes over the comm saying excellent work in finding those schematics. Now we need a military-grade electrical transducer. If anyone can provide us with a transducer, it would be Gundark. Gundark is relaxing at one of the city's casinos. Go speak with him. Alright, so we gotta go speak with Gundark, but I think this is a good point to stop as I am out of my buffs, and I just don't feel like driving that far right now. So next time we'll pick up on Bespin at this point, and we'll continue. We're finished Act 1, and we're probably a good portion through Act 2. We got stuck on the Black Operative Sun member, and I had to call my medic to give me a little assistance there, but we had an okay time with the Cryoguard droid and the Stargazer leader. If I took him a little bit more seriously, he would have been fine. He did way more damage than I thought he would. But I hope you all enjoyed the first start to Rebel Bespin, and I'll see you in the next one.